Peace, love, and prosperity to all of humanity on planet Earth. This is Abdul Smith Bay from AMPAG, coming back again with part 2 of the WRC being in full force. We're trying to complete the reading. It's 111 articles. Right now we're on Article 19. That's how far we've gotten thus far, which is not very far, which means we've got quite some time to go. So it's probably going to take 3 weeks or so. But the first call, we did discuss other matters regarding decolonization, etc. And also pointed out all of the other regional organizations that exist on planet Earth, such as, I don't know who's this. Well, that's just that's an explanation of it. African Union, for example, BRICS, right? European Union, G7. I mean, there's so many. NATO, American Organization of American States. All this time, even the Caribbean has their own, Latin America has their own, Africans got their own. Well, what happened to the Moors in Morocco? You've been under somebody's bootstrap is what's been going on. We've been under somebody else's criminal and civil jurisdiction is what's been going on, right? As Negroes, Blacks, Coloreds, African Americans, Moorish Americans, etc., Aboriginals, Hebrew Israelites, Pan-Africans. I can go on and on. Egyptian, we all that. We are everything else on the planet under the sun. But nobody has ever took the time out to recognize or realize or learn that we were actually Moroccans. That's not part of the Black movement, understanding in the Black movement. You got 5%ers. You got Nation of Islam. You got members of the UNIA. But nobody, half of those people don't even know about the Moors, and they certainly ain't ever heard the term Moroccan. So I didn't get to know about the Moorish Science Temple of America and the great Prophet Noble Drew Ali till I was 35. Why? I knew about Al Capone way before I was 35. And in my journey of studying the red, black, and green Black Power movement, I learned about Marcus Garvey, quick, fast, and in a hurry. So I heard about Al Capone. I heard about Marcus Garvey, but I never heard about Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Somebody please mute yourselves. And these are contemporaries. So it's like saying, you've heard about Bird and Magic, but ain't never heard about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. All three of those guys existed at the same time. Al Capone, Noble Drew Ali, and Marcus Garvey. I've read books. I've read Roots, seen the movie and everything. Alex Haley never spoke about Noble Drew Ali. W.E.B. Du Bois never spoke about Noble Drew Ali. None of those authors of the 20s spoke about Noble Drew Ali. You think they didn't know about who Noble Drew Ali was? They didn't speak about Noble Drew Ali. They didn't speak about nothing Moorish. They said that she was African, Blacks, Negroes, and everything else. And you came from Africa. But these people knew who Noble Drew Ali was. How would they not? How can I don't know, LeBron not know who Barkley was? Like, how in the world could Carter G. Woodson, the miseducation of the Negroes, not know about who Prophet Noble Drew Ali was? Okay. Well, it sounds like a sellout. Why is it that the temples never promote Noble Drew Ali like that? I should have known about Noble Drew Ali. Every time there was some sort of police brutality or anything going on within our communities, we should have been seeing fezes and turbans posted up at least. I'm not saying throwing bottles and rocks at the police. And I'm not necessarily saying that you should be walking around with these, with this marching and praying stuff. But at least make your presence be known, for crying out loud. You are the Moors, the mighty Moors, right? The Moor Vengers. How come I didn't never heard about Noble Drew Ali till I was 35? what is this, a secret society that it became? I thought Prophet Noble Ali came to unveil the secrets. So then why did he himself become a secret? What I'm saying here is that the temple, whether it's sold out or not, which they are, they did an absolute horrible job in promoting Prophet Noble Ali and the temple itself. How in the hell did I not know who Prophet Noble Ali was till I was 35? And you got all these temples and all these grand sheiks. And I've never heard of Prophet Noble Ali till I was 35. Shameful. Because y'all sold out all these old Moors, grand sheiky guys, grand governors, the Moorish, what is it called? This Moorish, what is it? The Philadelphia Society of Moorish Americans, whatever you call that group, that took place in the speedy Americanization of these former Moors in Resolution 75 out of Philadelphia. Yeah, all of y'all. I don't care about calling them out, because the truth is the truth. I didn't learn about Prophet Noble Ali till I was 35, and most Negroes, Blacks, Colors, and African Americans that were supposed to be saving have never heard of the Prophet. So then, if your own people never heard of the Prophet, then how can you really be on the path to uplifting fallen humanity? You're not. You're going against uplifting fallen humanity, which means you're actually going against the Prophet. If I've never heard of the Prophet, all of y'all, or should I say most of y'all. So who gets the credit for really awakening the Moors to who Prophet Noble Ali was or is? Pastor Tariq Bey. Good, bad, or indifferent. Yeah, you got there's some concerns with the good brother, but nonetheless, he is responsible. He did an excellent job in promoting and exposing who Prophet Noble Ali was. I will tell you that much. Excellent. He did an excellent job with that. And so we find out that the Prophet wanted the Moors to start what's called the Supreme Grand Council, which the Supreme Grand Council, right, is similar to this right here. But it's for organizations, or the temples, I should say, to be more specific, whereas the Wazir Regional Council is for states. So the Supreme Grand Council was supposed to govern the affairs of all the temples. All the temples fell under the jurisdiction or the authority of the Supreme Grand Council to maintain conformity, right, and govern all of the temples under the Prophet's laws. Whereas the Wazir Regional Council is doing the same, but it's for states on an international level under international law and Moorish treaty rights. Islam. So let's go ahead and get into the reading. It's a long read, and I'm over here rambling. I got a little sidetrack. Speaking about Prophet Noble Ali and the sellout, you know, everybody not knowing who Prophet, I mean, nobody knows who Prophet Noble Ali is. So that's really what attracted me to Noble Ali. That's what kept me around, because I had already gave up on the movement, but I didn't give up on on Noble. I know Noble is right, because I never heard of Noble. They kept him in the dark. It's for a reason. I know about everybody else. I know about Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and all these people. Marcus Garvey, that existed during the same time of the Prophet. I never heard of the Prophet, but I heard of Marcus Garvey.
Islam, Mo. I just wanted to reach out on that. They're gonna always hide the truth, Mo. They don't ever want to give you the truth, Mo. They don't ever want to give us the truth. And as long as you sleep, they'll never want to. They're gonna continuously play games.
I agree. Well, there you go.
Islam.
Well, we made a video called Noble Ali and the Great Sellout, and it's doing pretty well. Well, you know, considering my subscription count and you know, the subject matter, right? The subject matter of the movement. It's not, you know, I don't have 1,000 subscribers, so for the little bit of subscribers that I do have and views that we do get, you know, it's 300 and something views. It's pretty good. It ain't nothing to most YouTubers, but we'll get there. It's not even about quality for us. It's about quantity, right? I don't want to. You could have a bunch of incompetent Moors, or you can have quite a few competent Moors. I stick with the competent Moors. So let's get back to the reading and finish the reading, starting from the preamble. I'm going to read the preamble, but I'm asking for someone to continue to read from Article 19, please. Someone with a good voice, but I'll read the preamble. As we already know, this is the constitutional process or the constitutional procedure for enacting law and bringing it into full force and effect. You have to do these things that's highlighted, right? Which you'll see on all the other uh international law documents as it relates to whichever state acceded to that specific document. They all go through these same constitutional procedures. So let's go through the preamble. We, the competent Moors of the Empire of Morocco, not Northwest Mexum. You don't find the term Northwest Mexum, North Africa in the treaties. That's private law. That's Moorish America. That's Moorish Science Temple laws. In international law, and the international community, they recognize this land and our land, I should say, as the Moroccan Empire, the Empire of Morocco, as the Prophet told us in chapter 47. The true possessors and founders of the Moroccan Empire, present Moroccan Empire, which means if you are the true possessor and founder of the present Moroccan Empire, it would have to make you Moroccan. So if you call yourself Moorish American, you're not the Moroccans of the Moroccan Empire, because the Prophet said you were the possessors of the Moroccan Empire, not the Moorish American Empire, the Moroccan Empire. Therefore, in order for you to be the possessors to come back in a competent way to reclaim the Moroccan Empire, you have to come back as your ancestors. You have to come in the name of your parents, and they were Moroccans. How do we know that? Because the empire was the Empire of Morocco or the Moroccan Empire. Therefore, they had to be Moroccans. Duh. Do we have to stress that point? Clearly, we do. So then, like Taj would say, it makes you, what the Prophet said, it makes you undesirable and classed as undesirables. And Taj said that coming in any other name than that of your former parents, right? Your foreparents makes you and deems you uninheritable. I think that's a term. If anybody else knows the correct term, please correct me. Uninheritable, which means you can't get your inheritance. Your father's name is Billy Johnson, and you come telling them that your name is George Lopez. That's what we're doing. We, the competent Moors of the Empire of Morocco, do hereby establish a multilateral convention by the member states parties to the convention, and have combined our efforts to reign in the order of unity and accountability throughout the Moorish Empire. So we're going to go through this read. We have to read through it, all 111 articles, for full clarity as to what the WRC is. That way, no one can make up in their own minds what the WRC is. We're giving you the full transparency as to what it is. Plus, the document will be available for public consumption pretty soon. We're still working on these things. It's a lot of work going on behind the scenes, y'all. A lot of work. So any one of you that want to be a part of statehood and take on, please, we need your help. And trust me, it's a lot of work. Okay, as I continue. Bearing in mind that the Wazir Regional Council and its recognized member states shall be guided by the norms of treaties and international law. We're not guided by Satan. We're not guided by the colonists. We're being guided by our own Moorish treaties and international law, which international law essentially is Moroccan law. It derives itself from Moroccan law, with a view to preserving the purpose and principles concerning the sovereign equality of modern Moroccan states and the maintenance of international peace and security. We're not here as a dictatorship. We're not here as enslavers. So y'all stop that. Believing that regional council reforms on friendly diplomatic intercourse, we're seeking friendly diplomatic intercourse, not war or any form of despair being imposed upon humanity. That would go against what? International peace and security. So I don't want to hear this anymore. believing that regional council reforms on friendly diplomatic intercourse, privileges, and immunities shall contribute to the development of consular relations between all more states and between foreign dependent states of the United States of America in Morocco. The United States of America is in Morocco, not in America. America is the corruption, just like Negro, blacks, colored is the corruption to the people. So the people are Moroccans, the land is Morocco. Currently, they have it as the people are Negroes and the land is America. And we're holding on to the term America. I am an American citizen. I am a true American citizen. The United States belongs to us. We established the United States, and that's our Constitution. Yeah, okay. You see where that knowledge and that notion, that narrative has taken us in the past 100 years. Realizing that purpose of such diplomatic intercourse, privileges, and immunities is not to benefit individuals, but to ensure the efficient performance of the functions of diplomatic relations and consular relations by respecting the principles of Moroccan law as binding on who? Moors and privileged Americans. Everybody falls under Moroccan law. I fall under Moroccan law. J. Bay falls under Moroccan law. All the wazirs and Sayarahas and Qazis and government officials of our several states fall under Moroccan law. So do the Americans. So do Moorish Americans. Everybody in Morocco falls under Moroccan law. But there hadn't been Moroccan law until now. So since it's us who's establishing or reestablishing Moroccan law, we just happen to be the ones who get to control the narrative. It only makes sense. But we're doing it under LTPFJ, Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, and Justice, under international law, adhering to the preemptory norms of international law, which is just cogence, which deals with what? That's a question for the floor. See if y'all been studying a little bit. What is just cogence? What does that relate to in international law? What type of rights? I just gave you a hint. Oh, no crickets, no crickets. Somebody give me an answer.
Crematory norms.
What rights? What did you say?
Preemptory norms.
Well, preemptory norms are the paramount rights of all of law, but it deals
human
with
rights.
Thank you. Just cogence is human rights and state rights. That's the highest degree and most paramount respect is for human rights. Right? So those are the principles that we're operating under. So we're all subjects of Moroccan law. Don't listen to Tupac. We're not outlaws. If you want to be an outlaw, go for it. But that's going to cost you in the end. We're not outlaws. We are in-laws in Moroccan law, which is based in common law. This is not U.S. municipal laws. That's a contradistinction to international law. That's what municipal law is. Acknowledging that the Constitution for the United States of Morocco has yet to be concluded and enacted for the purpose of establishing a central government to represent the Moroccan Empire. Therefore, the WRC Council and the WRC Office of the Secretariat shall assist the member states until the Constitution of the United States of Morocco is convened into session. It's coming. And so in the meantime, what that's saying is that the WRC is a placeholder for the empire, right? Affirming that the council shall act in the best interest of human rights, just cogence. So the council shall act in the best interest of human rights. So the naysayers out there, did you hear that part? It's part of the preamble. The council shall, not could or could potentially, no, shall. It is a demand, it is a mandate. The council shall act in the best interest of human rights. That includes white people, green people, blue people, all people. No dictatorship, no re-enslavement, no none of that. Y'all stop all that. And adopt resolutions that promote the member states to accept or accede to the council resolutions regarding administrative, legislative draft articles, judicial, economic, social, cultural, and military reforms, while the member states are at varying stages of advancement. What that's saying is that the WRC, right, is going to write resolutions, right, so that the member states can retrieve those resolutions and convert it to their internal laws. So they don't have to burn up any brain cells and writing all types of legislation. They can just pull the resolution. See, okay, so why is it a resolution? Because the WRC is an organization and not a state. So as such, being an organization, it can only write resolutions. The states can write legislation. So it's no different. This is basically a copycat of the United Nations Charter, right? So the rights of indigenous peoples, for example, is like a resolution. It's an agreement amongst all the states that you now take and you download it, bring it into your state, convert it, right, to your internal resolution. And then you turn around and readopt, and you turn around and you deposit it with the United Nations. You change the language to fit your state. So instead of it being the rights of indigenous people, indigenous is general. Indigenous of where? Okay, because you could be indigenous of China, you can be indigenous to wherever. But we're indigenous to here, right? Morocco of the West. So you would say, instead of it saying the rights of indigenous people, you would say the rights of Moroccan nationals. That's the title. Then you go down through the document and you just start changing stuff around to match your state, match your people. Where anywhere where it says indigenous, you say Moroccan national or whatever the name of your state is or whatever. You'll learn those principles free through the WRC. You'll learn it for free. You'll learn it for free. What it will cost you? It'll cost you your time and effort and discipline, but no monetary gain at least, right? Okay, so that's what that part of the that paragraph within the preamble represents. Emphasizing that the combined efforts of state to any dispute can be expressed through a joint declaration of intervention as erga omnes parties to help unite our efforts for the common defense of our interdependent states. So that paragraph, think of that paragraph as Voltron, right? So Voltron is first a bunch of little machines disguised as animals or whatever. I ain't seen Voltron in forever, but what I do remember is that when it was beef, when there was smoke, when there was trouble, right? They will come together and become a robot, a single robot. That's what we're doing. We're interdependent states, and then when it's time for beef, when it's time for war, we come together under what's called the erga omnes parties. And then we each write up a document called the Declaration of Intervention. So we're each intervening with each other's dispute with whatever other state that we're taking to the United States, to the International Court of Justice, if consular court don't prevail. Remember, consular courts come first. That's the ultimate court. But if it doesn't prevail based on their belligerence and their customs and usage, meaning that they're accustomed and used to us acquiescing. So by that, by way of that, and for reasons of that, they continue with their belligerence, thinking that we're still acquiescing. That's why we have to know the next steps after they breach our rights. Once we have established our states, there's certain steps thereafter to put them in check, because currently they're operating under what's called customs and usage, right? So if they try to infringe upon our rights, then we all pile up on them. We all come together as Voltron. We, like I've said before, you can also think of the WRC as the Infinity Gauntlet. All the states are the jewels, and the people are Thanos. So once we start collecting these jewels, all we gotta do is snap our fingers, and they're out of here, right? That's the power of Moroccan states coming together as one. And that's what that paragraph is saying. That's what that paragraph represents. We have tried to cover all the bases. Does someone have a question? It sounds like someone had a question. Okay, let's stay muted, please, because I could hear that. I heard somebody come off mute, so I figured it was a question. Emphasizing that the combined efforts of states to any dispute can be expressed. Oh, I already read that. Convinced that the heads of states shall embody the sacred trust of duty, honor, and accountability to protect the United States of Morocco alliance and its borders, people, and property, and foster friendly relations between Moroccans and Americans. We ain't gonna be out here beefing with the Americans. We're fostering friendly relations. That doesn't mean that they can't be, that they're not subject to fines, penalties, and confiscations, because they'll be going to jail too. They fall under the criminal and civil jurisdiction of Morocco. So Americans can go to jail, just like Moroccans can go to jail under Moroccan law, right? But it's a matter of you violating Moroccan law. It's going to be always just and equitable and fair. It's not going to be, oh, you're an American, you're going to jail. Like, nah, come on, right? It's all about friendly relations between us and them. Who is us and them? We, the Moroccans, them, they are the Americans. The Treaty of Peace and Friendship was between who? Moroccans and the Americans. That's why we're not Moorish Americans. Okay, let me move off of that. Reaffirming that treaties, international law, preemptory norms, just cogence, and the principles of uti possidetis juris. We've already discussed again what just cogence is. And obviously, uti possidetis juris is your borders. We've been over that like crazy. Principles of uti possidetis juris, inter alia, shall continue to govern questions not expressly regulated by the provisions of the present multilateral convention. Solemnly, the respective wazir al-reis of their recognized Moorish governments have assembled in the state of Alonia Moorish Parade in Monte Colorado, have exhibited their full powers and found to be in good and due form, and have agreed to the present multilateral convention in the Empire of Morocco, and do hereby establish a United States of Morocco alliance to be known as the Wazir Regional Council, right? So we all signed on to this multilateral agreement, right? Which means now we have to adhere to the provisions within it that deals with, right, the preemptory norms of international law, just cogence, which means now we have to respect human rights, respect the principles of uti possidetis juris, and essentially all the customary norms of international law. So that's why any state who operates outside of the customary norms of international law cannot be recognized and cannot be admitted into the WRC. We're strict about that. And if you want to say that, oh, we're dictators and we're slavers and blah, 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 okay, we'll take that too. Because we know in our heart of hearts what this is all about and what it is that we're doing. You know what it is because it's public knowledge. I just read everything to you. And we're not asking for any other state to do nothing that we hadn't already done. We're not like the block of wood that's pointing the way. We actually are leading the way by doing exactly what we're telling you all to do. Big difference. So all that, oh, they're dictators and they're, okay, cool, whatever. That just means you're not going to be a part of it. No worries. We don't need everyone anyway. There's only a few that we need. Many are called, only a few are chosen. Those who are on this call have been chosen. They've been touched and they've been blessed. Just because you haven't established your state doesn't mean that you haven't been chosen. You'll get there. It's just not your time yet. This is all time released, right? Those who come online will come online. That's it. There's no need to rush anyone. They'll come. Right now, we want to give congratulations to Sakaru, Sakaru State Republic. They had their inauguration last Saturday. Congratulations. The Wazir is Aziz Hano Bey. He's always on the call. He does an excellent job promoting international law on Facebook. And I didn't get to speak with the brother, but as I know, Arkansas has also completed their inauguration this past Saturday, yesterday actually. Blayless Bay, I'll get back with him to verify. I didn't get a chance to. It's been a busy weekend as usual. So assuming that they have completed their inauguration, their public inauguration, that would be 8 states. Sakaru being number 7, closing the first cycle, right? Circle 7. And Arkansas, Arkansas. I forgot the name of their state. Oh, Tamoria State Republic. They begin the new cycle, right? At number 8. It's all divine, Morris. And then after that, it will be New York. and I believe Florida. New York called me telling me that within 2 weeks they'll be online. Okay, Islam. So they will be number 9. And if Florida get it done, then they'll be number 10. So we're moving along. We don't need everybody. We only need the ones that are chosen. We don't need the ones that's been called upon. Now, that's not enough. We need those who have been chosen. And
Only Allah,
and you
excuse me,
choose
I didn't
yourself.
mean to cut you off, teacher, but Allah said there's only a few chosen to enter the gate.
There's always only a few chosen. Because you actually choose yourself.
Exactly. Islam.
Islam. All right, let's go to Article 19 and begin the read. I did enough rambling, but it was important to note a lot of these things. So we've already went over 18. Can I get a volunteer to begin the read for me, please? A nice clean read.
Islam. I will
Islam.
start. Article 19, a member state of the convention which is in arrears in the payment of its financial contributions to the regional treasury department shall have no vote in the Wazir Regional Council if the amount of its arrears equals or exceeds the amount of the contributions due from the delinquent member state. The Wazir Regional Council may nevertheless permit such a member state to vote if it is satisfied that the failure to pay is due to conditions beyond the control of the member state, inter alia.
So all the states will be required required to pay dues to the organization. No different than the United Nations. So 193 member states have to pay. Keep in mind that okay, so like I explained to y'all about the rights of indigenous people and how you can convert it to your internal law. Well, that's what we did. That's what we did with the United Nations Charter. That's what this is. The United Nations Charter told this to 193 states, all the countries on planet Earth. Now we have converted it to tell y'all, who is y'all? The member states of the Moroccan regional organization known as the Wazir Regional Council. So all of our several Moroccan states have to pay dues. And so that's what this article represents. Continue, sister.
Procedure Article 20. The Wazir Regional Council shall meet in regular annual sessions and in such special sessions as the occasion may require. The executive director or the inspector general shall be entitled to invoke special sessions regarding alleged acts of terrorism, torture, genocide, and aggression by a foreign state or an organization.
We're not playing with these colonists. We're going to stop with all these terroristic acts and torture against our people, genocide and all this stuff. Because remember, we have what's called a trustee council, which means that the WRC gets to administrate on a limited basis, but we can nonetheless administrate the non-self-governing territories, which is the trust territories that haven't been established yet. So you can't just go around with police brutality on Moorish Americans and, well, yeah, not them either, any Moorish subject, because there's still Moorish subjects. So we are here to protect Moorish Americans, African Americans, Negro, whatever you call yourself, you're still a Moorish subject. So all Moorish subjects are under the protection of the WRC on a limited basis, but there's protection nonetheless. And by the way, the good sister that's reading, that's AMPAG's new deputy wazir. She was just elected a couple weeks ago. I think you've seen her on the video if you watch the election video or the oath of allegiance video. So everybody say hey to Sister Adila Idrissi Bey. That's the deputy wazir of AMPAG. Islam, sister. Continue. Article 21.
Yes. Article 21. The Wazir Regional Council shall adopt its own rules of procedure. It shall elect its chairman for 3 years, and the chairman shall appoint 3 non-permanent co-chairs. A chairman shall not serve more than 2 re-elections. Any Wazir Arrays holding position of chairman within the WRC that is not re-elected by their state of origin shall be replaced by the vice chairman at the appropriate date set forth by the council. The vice chairman shall take the oath of office and become the chairman tempore for no more than 90 days. The Wazir Regional Council shall vote on a new chairman within 90 days, and the newly elected chairman may begin a new 3-year term. The newly elected chairman is entitled to appoint 3 co-chairs. The council shall not vote on a new chairman until all vacated seats of the council are filled and in session to cast a vote. This rule is without prejudice.
I think that's self-explanatory. You can continue, sister.
Mhm.
Article 22.
Okay. Article 22, the Wazir Regional Council may establish such subsidiary organs as it deems necessary for the performance of its functions.
Such as, for example, the regional Supreme Court is one of the organs, the judicial organ to the Wazir Regional Convention. So the Wazir Regional Council is the administrative aspect to the governance of all people within Morocco and the states, right? And so now it has organs that it needs, such as the judicial branch, right? So the judicial branch is necessary to enforce the administration coming from the WRC. This is an administration thing. So when you go back to the Treaty of Fez, that's the exact order. There's 6 reforms. The first one is administrative, 2 is judicial, 3 is educational, 4 is economic, 5 is financial, 6 is military. In that order. It starts with administration. That's why we started with the WRC, because that's the administration. Then comes the judicial, i.e. the regional Supreme Court, so on and so forth. We'll have an educational arm or organ, right? Because we have to institute these reforms to reprogram the minds of our people who has been lost for so many years, right? And it was due to the miseducation based on the programming, based on the pen, whether it's based on education, so-called schools, right? Movie scripts, TV scripts, shows, right? So we have to we use those same tools for the correction of the mindset of the people. So we have to go back now into the schools and correct the curriculum. That's the pen. We have to go into Hollywood and correct the scripts. That's the pen, and all the movies and all the shows, etc. It's always the pen. The pen is where it's mightier than the sword. It's not limited to law. It's also dealing with literature, right? We got scrap books like Roots and all that kind of stuff, right? Excuse me. Anything calling us Negroes, Africans, and all, scrap all those books. The miseducation of the Negroes. Though there was truth in a lot of those books, you're still casting a spell on us, right? A negative spell based on the incorrect identity that you're utilizing to identify these people. Excuse me, which finds itself in genocide. It's all genocide, denationalization. So we have to institute reforms to clean that up. Continue, sister. Article 23.
Okay, composition, Article 23. Number 1, the United States of Morocco Treaty Organization articles shall be drafted by the Wazir Regional Council and come into force by protocol accessions to serve as a military alliance for homeland security throughout the Moorish Empire. Number 2, the Wazir Regional Council shall appoint an Inspector General and establish a Security Council of Defense in harmony with the provisions of the United States of Morocco.
Hold that there.
Okay.
So, like it says there, number 2, the Wazir Regional Council shall appoint an Inspector General and establish a Security Council of Defense in harmony with the provisions of the United States of Morocco. We've done that. So we do have a Inspector General. His name is Marcus Maymoun El Marzouk. He is a retired 20-year Army veteran who was involved in who has high security clearance because he was involved in security for the military. So he was the perfect match for the position as Inspector General. We reviewed his resume, and his resume is impressive as can be. So he definitely fits the position very well, and he's actually performing his duties in a position very well, to the point where he's a little bit annoying, right? And that's a good thing, because he's keeping us accountable. He's keeping us on point. He's keeping us in the right direction as it relates to his position, his duties, and the things that he needs to do to make sure that we stay on point. He's keeping us accountable. Islam, continue, sister.
The Inspector General shall appoint a Moorish Minister of the Defense to command the Police and Military Committee for the maintenance of regional and international peace and security, and for equitable geographical distribution throughout the Moorish ports and trade routes. The international law of the sea shall not prejudice the treaty rights of Moors and Moorish ports in pursuance with the Act of Algeciras, Article 123, inter alia.
We're just getting started, right? We're not even there yet. But what are we talking about? Let me highlight this. We're talking about Moorish ports. In fact, can you all see? Let me do this here. Increase it a little bit. Yeah, that might be better. Is that better, y'all? Is a better view?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Moorish ports. So what am I saying? We're taking back our ports. We're taking it back. We're not playing. So we're just getting started. This document is written for the future, present and future. We're projecting out 20 years, 30 years, to infinity, really, as we continue beefing it up. Anything new that needs to come into protections and governance will be added on as an addendum to the document. Right. So we're back to take control, or take back control. We're here to take back control of these items, these things. Moorish ports and trade routes. This is how the colonists got rich, is off of our Moorish ports and trade routes. Right? So we got to take it back. It belongs to us. But guess what? We have to come in the name of the people who established those Moorish ports and trade routes. And the name of those people were Moroccan, not Moorish American. Continue, sister. Number 3.
Okay. Number 3, each member state shall appoint to the Security Council of Defense 1 consul general, and that representative shall have no more than 5,000 police or military personnel under their command from their state of origin.
Continue.
The sergeants at arms shall be under the command of the Moorish Minister of the Defense without delay or interruption. The Moorish Minister of Defense shall be under the command of the Inspector General. The Inspector General shall be under the command of the Wazir Regional Council.
This is called organization, and it's called structure. We're forming an organized jural society.
Right.
And in so doing, we got to have structure. And with structure, we're going to always win. We will beat the United States easily. It's a landslide. It's a landslide. I'll say it again. It's a landslide. We just got to play this game out. That's all. When you're playing a chess game and you see the checkmate and you got checkmate in 5 moves, you can't be in move number 1 and say, okay, checkmate. You can't jump over all the 4 moves and jump straight to move 5. You have to play it out unless the opponent lays down his king, because he sees it as well, and he sees that there's no way out. And what's the point in wasting time extending this loss? Let me just lay down my king and start over, right? That would be equivalent to the United States, let's say, settling out of court and going into negotiations with the WRC on behalf of all the several states. So we see the checkmate. The checkmate is there. It's undeniable. So we can't just jump the checkmate. We have to play this game out. And the colonists going to drag it out. Just the same way a chess player would drag it out, trying to find a way, but there is no way, brother. It's over with. You're in a pickle. So the colonists are in a pickle. keeping in mind that they're being flanked because they're also being they're under scrutiny from other states, other countries around planet Earth, and other regional organizations. That's the part. That's the part. They're being scrutinized by other regional organizations, while at the same time they got to deal with another regional organization with domestically within their extraterritorial territory, right? That they have claimed as under extraterritoriality, which is Morocco, right? What they call America. Well, within America, they're dealing with the Wazir Regional Council. Outside of America, they're dealing with the BRICS, etc. It's come on. They're just wasting our time here by by stalling and denying. That's all they're doing is stalling and denying, wasting our time. They need to really just lay down their king straight up. I'm serious. Go ahead, sister. Functions and powers, Article 24.
In order to ensure prompt and effective action by the Wazir Regional Council, its member states confer on the Security Council of Defense and the Inspector General the primary responsibility for the maintenance of international peace and security, and agree that in carrying out its duties under this responsibility, the Moorish Minister of War, the sergeants at arms, and their police and military acts on their behalf.
Continue.
In discharging these duties, the Secretary Council of Defense shall act in accordance with the purposes and principles of the Wazir Regional Council, and as a natural corollary.
Corollary.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
To the United Nations Charter. The specific powers granted to the Security Council of Defense for the discharge of these duties are laid down in chapters 6, 7, 8, and 12.
So the term corollary comes as an international law term, which is like saying in conjunction with, and it comes off the we hear it spoke of or written in the France versus United States case.
Mm-hmm.
I come to you, number 3.
Number 3, the Inspector General shall submit annual and, when necessary, special reports to the Wazir Regional Council for its consideration.
All right. Mm-hmm.
All right. Article 25, the organs and representatives of the Secretariat, which includes the organs of the Security Council of Defense, agree to accept and carry out the decisions of the Wazir Regional Council and the member states in accordance with the present convention, and in harmony with the Articles of the United States of Morocco Treaty Organization. The United States of Morocco Treaty Organization shall also be under the command of the Wazir Regional Council and its Military Staff Committee, inter alia.
As long as we're even talking about military, police, military, right? So the average person that reads this is like, what police? What military? They ain't got no police. They ain't got no military. Oh, but we do. I'm gonna remind more. Everything. Okay, so the United States of America is our asset, which means that the United States is an asset to the United States. It's an asset to the United States of America, which means the United States is our asset. So then all of their state of are the assets to the United States. So that means that's our asset, and any and all things within it. That includes the military. That includes the police. Fire department, all the hospitals, everything is under our authority, period. So what military and what police are they talking about? LAPD, NYPD, Army, Navy, all that stuff is under our command. They're in Morocco, and we are the Moroccans, the sovereigns of the land, and they're here under a treaty agreement, which is a contract between a landlord and a tenant. We are the landlords, they are the tenants. So anything that you bring inside my house, that's a fixture, right? Okay, so I have regular countertops. You done renovated and put in granite countertops. Guess what? When you leave my house, you can't take the granite countertop with you. It stays with me. If I have a one single story house and you make it a 2-story, guess what? Thank you, because it belongs to me, right? You just look at it that way. If you whatever you do to a house is what they have done to our house, which is our land. All the buildings that they have erected that they got to pay taxes on. So see what happens is they owe taxes, they're in default. So whenever you're in default and you don't pay the IRS, what does the IRS do? They confiscate that property, right? Okay. So you're in default. So what does the Moors do? The deed tax assessors, the Qadis, confiscate your property. What is your property? That nice, beautiful Trump Tower building that you got up there in New York. Right? Just they're in default. They're in default. They're facing foreclosure. All their jets and their fighter jets and their helicopters and their Delta Airlines and their tanks. I don't care what you call it, Lockheed Martin, right? All that stuff is us. It all belongs to us. Remember that, Morris. This is what we're talking about, the triple principles. Sovereignty and independence is the first step. That's the establishment of your states. Integrity of domains is the second step. That is that's solidifying your state with your laws and the enforcement of your laws, etc. It's a lot of work in integrity of domains. From there, then you come into economic liberty without any inequality. That means that you have now forced decolonization and all the entire what they call great enterprise. That's what it's labeled as in the Act of Algeciras. The entire great enterprise is under our control, under decolonization, economic liberty without any inequality. So when people keep asking about, well, what about the economic and the financial aspect to the government? It comes later. You can't jump from box 1 to box 3. You can't jump from move 1 to move 5 just because you saw the checkmate prior. You have to play it out. You have to go through the process. You have to go through the due process of decolonization. That's what we're going through. That's what we're going through. The due process of decolonization. Right now, we're all in the integrity of domains, making our way towards what? Economic liberty without any inequality. And it's coming closer than you think. This ain't 10 years off, and it certainly ain't 5 years off, and it's damn sure not 3 years off. It's like less than a year, I would say. I don't have a fixed number. Don't quote me on that. But if I were to if I were to guess, to give you an educated guess, the hypotheses, right? An educated guess, I would say within a year. By the time this time, by the time the year is out, we'll probably be at the ICJ or something. Then we take back control. So it's not about the money. Yeah, it's a lot of money that they owe us. It's the national debt, right?
Yeah.
But it's not about the money. That's nothing. Y'all got to remember that with all that wealth comes responsibility. We are responsible for 300 million people on this side of the world, right? What they call America, North America, which is Morocco. But across planet Earth, there's 7 billion people. We're responsible for all these people. We got to govern these people. We got to govern, and we govern them through the United Nations, right? So there's the Secretary General of what's the word I'm looking for? Reports to the Moroccans, to Morocco, to the United States of Morocco, the empire. That's what the United Nations is for. We just haven't been in our seat. It's been the United States they've been reporting to, and all the other four 5 Security Council members. But that report is supposed to go to us. We are tasked with the responsibility to oversee the peace and security on planet Earth. So y'all better get your minds off this money, because we got a lot of work to do. Fortunately, we'll be getting paid very well to do our work, because we're talking about an inheritance, really. But we can't lose sight of the work and just focus on the inheritance. Because if we do that, we're going to lose the empire all over again, based on what? Greed. That's why we have to be in our higher self. That's why Prophet Noble Ali came and teach us about our lower self and our higher self. That's why he taught us the 5 highest principles on planet Earth in the universe: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. That's the higher self. The opposite of that is the lower self, which is what? Hate,
Wonderful.
lies, enslavement, etc. Continue, brother. Go ahead, brother.
I just wanted to ask, so would it be safe to say that the WRC will replace the Security Council of the United Nations?
We'll replace, yeah, we'll get rid of the veto power and good question. I'm not sure if we would replace every last one of those states, but I know for sure we'll be replacing the United States, and we'll be above all the other states. We are the Security Council, actually. We may not necessarily need all five of those states. It's probably just the Empire of Morocco. That's a great question. I would say the United States for sure.
Is it
All right, Sister Dilly, may continue Article 25. No, did we already read that? Yeah, we did already read that.
Yes, we did 25.
Okay, we'll continue. You notice we got so this is a PDF format, so the original format, the formatting of it was good. Now I'm seeing that it got reformatted. That's what happens when you switch things from one format to the next, from Word document to PDF and stuff. It loses its formatting. You got to keep fighting with that. Anyway, we'll fix it. We'll clean it up. In fact, I think that the original document that got sent out is cleaned up. Continue, Sister. Article 26.
Article 26, in order to promote the establishment and maintenance of international peace and security with the least diversion for armaments of the world's human and economic resources, the Security Council of Defense and the Inspector General shall be responsible for formulating, with the assistance of the Military Staff Committee referred to in Article 24 and 47, plans to be submitted to the member states for the establishment of a system for the regulation of armaments. The United States of Morocco Treaty Organization shall act in harmony with this article, recalling that the Act of Agassiz, chapters 1 and 2, set forth reforms for the Moorish government to organize the police and regulate the detection and repression of contraband arms throughout the Moroccan Empire.
Hold that thought. Let's go to it. Chapter 1. This is the Act of Algeciras here. This is what it's referring to. This is what that article is referring to. The declaration relative to the organization of the police, a regulation concerning the detection and repression of the contraband of arms. That's what our job is. We're supposed to organize and control the police and the contraband of arms. We're not supposed to be getting a license from them to carry arms. They're supposed to get a license from us to carry arms, period. It's called Trading Places, the Eddie Murphy movie. They have traded places with us. They have made us get licenses from them so that we can have guns. When in reality, the Act of Algeciras says that they are supposed to get licenses from us for them to hold guns. You see what acquiesce does? Thank you, sellout leader guys. Al Sharpton and the likes. Thank you. Thank you very much you did an excellent job in keeping us away from this information. You guys did an excellent job. But we're back for what you owe. We're back for everything you owe, no longer oppressed. Because now we overthrow those that placed us in this rotten mess. Tupac. Continue, sister. Or voting, Article 27.
Voting, Article 27. Before the Security Council of Defense can activate any military or police engagement against a domestic Moroccan state, foreign state, or foreign international organization, the Wazir Regional Council shall call upon each member state to cast one vote before any act of self-defense is agreed upon.
So we can even go to war without voting on it first, right? And that will be each one of us are limited to one vote. So therefore, no one has no greater power than the other, right? It's equal across the board. We all got to vote on it. To go to war, whether it's for self-defense or just offense as use of arms, use of force, I should say, which is against international law. So I was just pointing out that the voting power is limited to one per council member. Continue, sister.
Decisions of the Security Council of Defense on procedural matters shall be confirmed by an affirmative vote of the Wazir Regional Council.
Continue.
Decisions of the Security Council of Defense on all other matters shall be made by an affirmative majority vote of member states and present or by hybrid visual voting, provided that in decisions under chapter 4 and under chapter 6 and under paragraph 3 of Article 52, a party to a dispute shall abstain from voting.
Right. So if your state is part of a dispute, then you can't vote. That's basically what it's saying. Continue, sister.
Procedure Article 28. The Security Council of Defense and the seat of the Moorish Minister of Defense shall be so organized as to be able to function continuously. Each seat for the Consul General at the Security Council of Defense shall always be represented. The Security Council of Defense shall hold periodic meetings at which each of its members may, if it is so desires, be represented by a Consul General Temporal of the government or by some other specially designated representative.
Consul General Temporary, Vizier, Regional Chairman Temporary, things like those. That term temporary means temporary. That's all it is. Continue, sister.
The Security Council of Defense may hold hybrid visual meetings at such places other than the seat of the main building address, as in its judgment will best facilitate this work.
Okay, hybrid visual meetings mean Zoom calls, Zoom meetings and things like that. Continue.
Article 29. The Security Council of Defense may establish such subsidiary organs as it deems necessary for the performance of its functions. Article 30. The Security Council of Defense shall adopt its own rules of procedure, including the method of selecting its Moorish Minister of Defense.
Let me point something out. So you see, how do I put this? It's like, it's law. Law doesn't exist unless it's on paper. This is how you establish law. You write it out. You put it on paper. That's how our ancestors always have. On what's called a properly written instrument. You write out the laws. You don't, it's just not your verbal decree. It's a written document that governs the affairs of people, organizations, states, etc. Your Constitution is a piece of law, which has been written down, right? You know how the Americans, they love their Constitution because they give them rights and this, that, and the third, whatever. Well, if the Constitution never was written on paper and it was just in somebody's mind, then it's not a Constitution, right? It's got to be written down as the foundation to the laws of the state and how the government officials shall operate. And so that gives the people, the state, right, the people, it gives them the public knowledge as to what this particular government or state is all about and what the job functions of the government officials is all about. And if they operate outside of those principles, outside of those laws that's set forth within the Constitution, this is where the people can come in and have them impeached or removed. Because there's language within the Constitution that talks about the removal and impeachment of said officer. It's got to be on paper. We haven't had this since forever. We haven't had any type of laws, right? Far less Moroccan laws. We had the prophet's literature, but that's just what it is. It's literature. It's not law. It's law within the organization, within the temple, which makes it private law because it doesn't extend outside into American society. So when it says that the sheiks are supposed to make laws, that doesn't mean that they go into Congress and make laws. It means that they make laws for the organization, for the temple, within the temple. Keeping in mind that they're really practicing to make laws outside of the temple, but they never came outside the temple. They stayed in the temple, praising Noble Drew Ali as if he's Jesus Christ, and as if the temples was a church, singing hymns and gospel songs and stuff. It's ridiculous. Continue, sister. Article 30.
Okay, we're on Article 31.
31. Yeah.
31, yes. Article 31. Any member state of the Wazir Regional Council that does not have a consul general at the Security Council of Defense may participate without a vote in the discussion of any question brought before the Security Council or Defense or the Wazir Regional Council whenever the latter considers
Sorry.
that the interest is fine. Considers that the interests of that member state are especially affected.
All right, continue.
Article 32. If a non-member state does not have a consul general seat at the Security Council of Defense and subsequently becomes a party to a dispute under consideration by the Security Council of Defense, the non-member state shall be invited to participate without a vote. In the discussion relating to the dispute, the Security Council of Defense shall lay down such conditions as it deems just for the participation of a state which is not a member state of the convention. A non-member state is not entitled to diplomatic relations or representation by the present convention or any of the organs of the convention. Non-member states have a right to settle their dispute in accordance with the ordinary methods of treaties and international law.
You don't want to be a non-member state. You want to be a member state because you lose a lot of privileges when you're a non-member state. Now you get to sit in, like it says here, the non-member state shall be invited to participate without a vote. So you can participate in things, but you don't get to vote. So why even be a non-member state when you can just be a member state? Continue, sister.
Any more state government not a party to the convention shall adhere to the principles of the United Nations Charter without prejudice. Anything contrary is notwithstanding.
So even if you establish your own state and you decide not to rock with the WRC, you still fall under the principles of the United Nations Charter without prejudice. But you'd have a hard time because you won't be recognized. So you've got 15 states over here as part of the WRC, and you're this one lone state. You're not gonna have the powers that you need, the representation that you would need or desire. Why be a lone wolf? It kind of makes you a rogue state. We're all in this together. We're supposed to all come together. Statehood promotes uniformity, and it also promotes unity. So why not be unified in this battle? Why shy away from the WRC? There's no reason. As we can prove within the read of the document itself that governs the WRC, you see that it's based in nothing but righteousness. LTPFJ. So if you're all about love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice as the prophet laid out, if you're about uplifting and fallen humanity as the prophet laid out, then why not be a part of the WRC? Because that's what the WRC is all about. And no one can tell me any different. We're reading over it right now, and we haven't seen anything as of yet that points towards any form of dictatorship and enslaving people. Moors love to come up with, like, I don't know what's wrong with Moors, man. A lot of it has to do with skepticism based on the fact that they've been burned by Moors. So I understand that. So that's why we're going over it, to make that, bring forth that clarity as to what it is that we're doing. Continue, sister.
All right. Okay, Chapter 6, Regional Settlement of Dispute in Morocco. This is Article 33. Number 1. The parties to any dispute, the continuance of which is likely to endanger the maintenance of regional and international peace and security, shall first seek a solution of negotiation, inquiry, mediation, conciliation, arbitration, judicial settlement, resort to regional agencies or arrangements or other peaceful means of their own choice.
Continue.
The Wazir Regional Council, in cooperation with the organs of the Secretariat and the Inspector General shall, when it deems necessary, call upon the parties to settle their dispute by such means.
Islam. I wonder where we got that language from. Chapter 6,
Yeah.
specific settlement of disputes.
Settlement of disputes, yeah.
Read that for me, sister.
Article 33. Number 1, the parties to any dispute, the continuance of which is likely to endanger the maintenance of international peace and security shall first of all seek a solution of negotiation, inquiry, mediation, conciliation, arbitration, judicial settlement, resort to regional agencies or arrangements or other peaceful means of their own choice. Number 2, the Security Council shall, when it deems necessary, call upon the parties to settle their dispute by such means.
Now you see, even closely, somebody got a bad background for that. I think it's you, sister, but it's fine.
Oh, you
you're
know
the
what? I
reader.
think it's my other computer. Hold on a second.
So, you see it says the Security Council. Oh man, let me do this. So it says the Security Council. Here instead it says the Wazir Regional Council. You see the conversion? Then it says in cooperation with organs of the Secretariat and the Inspector General. Right?
Yes.
When indeed, and it's not in cooperation with those other organs, it just says when it deems necessary, call upon the parties to settle the disputes, and et cetera, whatever, right? So the Security Council is made up of all those organs, I suppose. But you see the difference in the reading where it was converted, right? So it says the Wazir Regional Council, in cooperation with the organs of the Secretariat and the Inspector General shall, when it deems necessary, call upon the parties to settle their dispute by such means. That's what you call conversion. I'm going to leave the Europeans here long enough to teach y'all how to run government. So y'all pay attention and follow along. Mirror image to it. Because you taught them that. Now, by them doing it there and you study them, you will reteach yourself. You will relearn what you taught them. Because you forgot. That's why he left the Europeans here long enough to teach us how to run government. So we examine what they've done and we're doing it ourselves. Why reinvent the wheel? Law has been recycled over and over and over the centuries. And who were the original lawmakers and lawgivers? The L's and the Bays, the Moors. Yet we lost our place in law by focusing on municipal laws, which is the United States internal laws. Okay, we've mastered that arena. Let's take it to the next level. Let's raise our degrees into international law. That's the highest form of jurisprudence. The United States laws is a contradiction to international law. It's a bastardized version of jurisprudence. So it's time for us now to make this transition from internal United States laws to international law, because we are international people and the Prophet brought us an international flag and an international headdress and an international nationality. We are international people, so why are we limiting ourselves to internal municipal U.S. laws? When the whole time we had the United Nations. Prior to that, we had the League of Nations during the time of the Prophet. This is where the corruption and the control of our people has come from. They have put us in the mindset of internal law, United States laws. And in doing so, we have totally forgotten and didn't even consider the enforcement and usage of international law. So to that, I say, I'll thank Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Farrakhan, all the sellout Negro leaders and preachers. Trust no black leader. Continue, sister. Article 34.
Article 34, the Inspector General or the organs of the Secretariat may investigate any dispute or any situation which might lead to regional or international friction or give rise to a dispute in order to determine whether the continuance of the dispute or situation is likely to endanger the maintenance of international peace and security. Report shall be communicated to the Wazir Regional Council.
We're here for international peace, love, truth, peace, freedom and justice. LTPFJ, the upliftment of fallen humanity. This is what the WRC is all about, Morris. Nothing more, nothing less. Continue, sister.
Article 35, any member state of the United Nations Charter may bring any dispute or any situation of the nature referred to in Article 34 to the attention of the Inspector General, the Secretariat, or the Wazir Regional Council. A Moroccan state which is not a member state of the convention may bring to the attention of the Council, the Secretariat, or the Inspector General any dispute to which it is a party if it accepts in advance for the purposes of the dispute the obligations of regional settlement of disputes provided in the convention. The proceedings of the Wazir Regional Council and the Security Council of Defense in respect of matters brought to its attention under this article will be subject to the provisions of Articles 11 and 12.
So take a look at number 1. Any member state of the United Nations Charter may bring any dispute or any situation of the nature referred to in Article 34 to the attention of the Inspector General, the Secretariat of the Wazir Regional Council. So we're talking to France, Brazil, China, you name it, Russia, whoever, any of the United Nations Charter members. All these countries can bring any dispute to who? The WRC. We are imposing ourselves upon the world, man. We ain't playing no games. Boys, we ain't playing any games. This should serve as high motivation and inspiration for what the future looks like. We coming for the throne. We coming for our throne. We're coming for our vast estate. And we have laid down the law in Article 35, Section 1, communicating our intentions to the international community. Keep in mind that this document has been deposited with the United Nations Charter, the Secretary General, which now means that his job now is to transmit it to the other 193 states. That means that all the countries on planet Earth know about the Wazir Regional Council. Period. Article 36.
Article 36, number 1. The Inspector General and the Security Council of Defense may, at any stage of a dispute of the nature referred to in Article 33, or of a situation of like nature, recommend appropriate procedures or methods of adjustment. The Wazir Regional Council and the Security Council of Defense should take into the consideration any procedures for the settlement of the dispute which have already been adopted by the parties.
Whenever you get to the different sections, you still have that little noise in the background. Could you check that out, Deputy, please? Because it's kind of annoying, and it's gonna come out bad on the video. But as you're reading,
well, I turned my computer.
Is there somebody else off mute? Let me take a look.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to me.
There's no one else was on mute. It was off mute, brother.
Yeah, everybody's on mute, so it's you, sister.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. The computer is off. My other computer is off.
Well, that's kind of let's continue trying it again, and if not, we'll go.
Yeah,
we'll
if not, we'll have to change
the reader. Yeah. Okay, so when you're reading through the, this count out, call out the numbers for each section.
Yes,
So
yes,
number
yes,
3,
yes.
such as,
Well,
okay,
okay,
go ahead,
okay.
continue.
Number 3, in making recommendations under this article, the Wazir Regional Council, the Secretariat, and the Security Council of Defense should also take into consideration that legal disputes between the Moorish states should, as a general rule, be referred by the parties to the ipso facto compulsory jurisdiction of the Moorish Supreme Court in lieu of petitioning the UN International Court of Justice in accordance with the provisions of the statute of each court.
Mhm. So you come to us, right, in lieu of the International Court of Justice. Remember that this is written for the future. It's not written just for the present. It's projecting down the line. And there's going to be addendums to come as we continue growing and expanding through the statehood movement. All right, continue, sister. Article 37.
Article 37, number 1. Should the parties to a dispute of the nature referred to in Article 33 fail to settle it by the means indicated in that article, they shall refer it to the Security Council of Defense. Number 2, if the Security Council of Defense deems that the continuance of the dispute is in fact likely to endanger the maintenance of international peace and security, it shall decide whether to take action under Article 36 or to recommend such terms of settlement as it may consider appropriate.
If the Security Council of Defense deems that the continuance of the dispute is in fact likely to endanger the maintenance of international peace and security, it shall decide whether to take action on Article 36 or to recommend such terms of settlement as it may consider appropriate. You got to settle the dispute, which Article 36 talks about what court? The Supreme Regional Court, the WRC. Regional Supreme Court, I'm sorry. It's not? Okay, continue. Okay, hold on. So we're
Are you
laying
still
down.
hearing that? Okay, well, we're gonna have to change. I've done everything over here I can.
Yeah, somebody take up the read.
I'm going to put my
Yeah,
my phone here.
yeah, you can put yourself on. But if you're operating with 2 devices, that's probably what's going on.
That was probably so, and I just turned the other one off, so I'm not sure.
Okay, no worries.
And you can still hear it, right?
I'm sure you're tired of reading anyway. You can get a fresh read, a new voice. Whoever would like to read for us, please. Article 38. And if not, I'll read. Do we have a volunteer to read?
I'll read.
Okay, I appreciate that. But real quick, so if the Security Council of Defense deems that the continuance of the dispute is in fact likely to endanger the maintenance of international peace and security. So if the dispute continues, then that's not good for international peace and security. We got to settle the matter. So it shall decide whether to take action under Article 36. Right, Article 36 deals with the Regional Supreme Court. So this is how you lay down law in an organized fashion. And you let the world know what it's going to be. And the beauty about all this that we're doing is that all of this is being done under Moroccan law, which is appropriate for international law, because international law is a subject of Moroccan law, an offshoot of Moroccan law. It's a baby to Moroccan law. Moroccan law is ancient to international law. It's modern. It's a baby to Moroccan law. We're coming with the ancient principles, right? Which makes us the principles of law. And so therefore Moroccan law is to be respected. But it won't be respected unless it's in a proper written instrument that's been deposited for the world to see. This is why ratification, depository and promulgation is so important, because it gives notice to the world of who we are and what it is that we're doing. We're laying down the law. That's what this is. That's what we're doing here with this WRC document. We are laying down the law on an international level for a regional agency or regional organization known as the Wazir Regional Council. All right, continue, sister. Article 38.
Article 38, without prejudice to the provisions of Articles 33 to 37, the Wazir Regional Council or the Security Council of Defense may, if all the parties to any dispute so request, make recommendations to the parties with a view to a regional settlement of a dispute or pacific settlement of the dispute.
We gotta settle the dispute because the continuance of any dispute is a risk to international peace and security. Bottom line. Okay, chapter 7.
Chapter 7, action with respect to threats to the peace, breaches of the peace, and acts of aggression. Article 39, the Wazir Regional Council in cooperation with the Security Council of Defense in harmony with the United States of Morocco Treaty Organization shall determine the existence of any threat to the peace, breach of the peace, or act of aggression, and shall make recommendations or decide what measures shall be taken in accordance with Articles 41 and 42 to maintain or restore regional or international peace and security.
Continue. That's self-explanatory.
Article 40, in order to prevent an aggravation of the situation, the Wazir Regional Council in cooperation with the Security Council of Defense in harmony with the United States of Morocco Treaty Organization may, before making the recommendations of deciding upon the measures provided for in Article 39, call upon the parties concerned to comply with such provisional measures as it deems necessary or desirable. Such provisional measures shall be without prejudice to the rights, claims, or position of the parties concerned. The Wazir Regional Council, in cooperation with the Security Council of Defense, shall duly take account of failure to comply with such provisional measures.
Continue. That's self-explanatory.
Article 41. The Wazir Regional Council may decide what measures not involving the use of armed force are to be employed to give effect to its decision. It may call upon the members of the Security Council of Defense in cooperation with the United States of Morocco Treaty Organization to apply such measures. These may include complete or partial interruption of economic relations and of land, air, sea, postal, cyber, and other means of communication, and the severance of diplomatic relations.
Period. This may include complete or partial interruption of economic relations and of land, air, sea, postal, cyber, and other means of communication. We're imposing our laws on the world under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, of course. Right? But and by the way, when I mentioned about the military and the police, it's not limited to the United States, by the way. It's not limited to the United States. We can call upon all military on planet Earth because they all fall under the authority of Morocco. Remember, all the signatory powers are under the authority of the Sultan, and our states are taking the place of the Sultan. So therefore, all their states belongs to the Moroccan Empire. Just the same way when the emperor or the Sultan was in power, all the states belong to the Sultan or the empire. Well, it still does, which means we have control over their guns and their everything, military, etc. We can demand a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. We're reaching that level. We got to get to that level. But we have that power nonetheless. We can tell Putin that he needs to sit his butt down somewhere, and he has to do it. Remember, he's in the Kremlin. What is the Kremlin? A Moorish building. What is an ancient Moorish building? A Habu property. What must he do to remain as a resident of the Habu property? They must pay taxes, 6% to be exact. It's in the Act of Adversaries. Ah, man, if people really understood more, man, listen. We got power over Putin. And you think I'm worried about the BRICS? Russia being part of the BRICS? Worried about no BRICS. The BRICS fall under they fall under the authority of Moroccan law. Putin falls under the authority of Moroccan law. The Pope, for crying out loud, falls under the authority of Moroccan law. So I'm not worried about no motu proprio. I'm worried about your Constitution and Declaration of Independence. That puts you above the Pope. As long as you don't have a Constitution and a Declaration of Independence, then yes, you're under the jurisdiction of the Pope. The archdiocese of each trust territory. State of Georgia has an archdiocese. State of Colorado has the archdiocese. All the trust territories have an archdiocese that's overseeing the governor. But then we oversee the archdiocese oversees the governor. We are the top rank here. We are the top at the very top of the pecking order, period. We got the job here is the forced decolonization, which is trading places, going back to the top where we belong. We are the sovereigns of the land, aren't we? Not no archdiocese. We don't care about no archdiocese named Emilio, whatever, Emilio something, whatever, one of these Catholic Spanish type names, Emilio Vasquez. You know, right? Maybe most of their popes come from like Argentina and all these Latin American countries, but it's never the indigenous people of those areas. It's always the colonists that take that seat. Keeping in mind that the original pope was us anyway. But that's the European Moors, not the Moroccan Moors. The Moroccan Moors aren't popes, right? We're sultans and stuff. All right, enough rambling. Continue, Sister 42.
Article 42. Should the Wazir Regional Council consider that measures provided for in Article 41 should be inadequate or have proved to be inadequate, it may take such action by air, sea, or land forces as may be necessary to maintain or restore regional or international peace and security. Such action may include demonstrations, blockades, and other operations by air, sea, or land forces of the Security Council of Defense in cooperation with the United States of Morocco Treaty Organization.
We keep talking about the United States of Morocco Treaty Organization. You keep seeing that a lot because it's coming. Like I told y'all, this document was written for the future, not the present. We're projecting out several years, 20 years plus. It's not limited to today's operations. You're taking this thing to the max. That's the point where, why not view things as future events if you're looking at forcing decolonization? That's a future event. Everything is dealing with future events. And so the document reflects such a thing, right? Future events as to what it's gonna look like 20 years down the line. This is what it's gonna look like. We will have the United States of Morocco in place. And it ain't gonna be 20 years down the line, by the way. A couple of years, 2 years, 3 years at the most. After we first got a forced decolonization, then we can bring in the United States of Morocco to govern in place of the United States. Because the United States is governing in place of the Empire of Morocco. We got to switch that around. Administrative reforms. Okay, continue. 43.
Article 43. The Security Council of Defense in cooperation with the United States of Morocco Treaty Organization shall act in harmony on a case-by-case basis with members of the United States Charter in order to contribute to the maintenance of regional
United
and
Nations Charter.
international peace.
You say United States Charter. You meant United Nations Charter. Continue.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
And international peace and security undertake to make available to the UN Security Council on its call and in accordance with a special agreement or agreements, armed forces assistance and facilities, including rites of passage necessary for the purpose of maintaining regional and international peace and security. Such agreement or agreements shall govern the numbers and types of forces, their degrees of readiness, and the general location and the nature of the facilities and assistance to be provided. The agreement or agreement shall be negotiated as soon as possible on the initiative of the Wazir Regional Council and diplomatic relations with the UN General Assembly members. They shall be concluded between the Wazir Regional Council the member states and the UN General Assembly and its members or between, pardon me, the Wazir Regional Council representative and the UN General Assembly members, and shall be subject to ratification by the signatory states in accordance with their respective constitutional processes.
Constitutional process, that's what we discussed, the highlighted area of this document in the very beginning, right? But look at also what it's saying. The agreement or agreements shall be negotiated as soon as possible on the initiative of the Wazir Regional Council in diplomatic relations with the UN General Assembly members. So we talking to the UN. They shall be concluded between the Wazir Regional Council, its member states, and the UN General Assembly and its members, or between the Wazir Regional Council representative and the UN General Assembly members. It shall be subject to ratification. We're telling them what it's going to be. We're coming for the seat. We're talking to the United Nations. We're telling them what Moroccan law is going to be looking like. You'll be reporting to us, essentially, is what this is saying. The agreement or arrangement shall be negotiated as soon as possible under the initiative of the Wazir Regional Council in diplomatic relations with the UN General Assembly members. This is what it's going to be. We're talking to the world, the international community. We're laying down the law. What law? Moroccan law. We should be proud of ourselves and what we got, what we're accomplishing here, Morris. Just because you're not part of the convention doesn't mean you're not a part of it. If you're not a part of it directly in the flesh, you're a part of it on a spiritual level. We're all in this together because we all have been subjugated and conquered. Right? And with the assistance of the Negro leaders. I'm not going to get off that bandwagon. I got a problem with these Negro leaders and Moorish leaders. Any and all of those who sold us out, betrayed us. Because we could have solved this a long time ago if they had the nerves as men to stand up against the colonists on behalf of their people. Instead, they chose to tuck their tails and take the payout. The disgrace. And they will be dealt with. Article 44 system.
Article 44. When the Wazir Regional Council, in cooperation with the Security Council of Defense, has decided to use force, it shall, before calling upon a member state not represented on it to provide armed forces and fulfillment of the obligations assumed under Article 43, invite that member state, if the member state so desires, to participate in the decisions of the Security Council of Defense concerning the appointment of contingents of that member's armed forces.
Mm-hmm. We will
Article
call upon you before we move forward on law, on war. Example. Continue. Mm-hmm.
Article 45. In order to call upon the United States of Morocco Treaty Organization and its armed forces or the Charter of the United Nations Security Council to take urgent military measures, the Moroccan member state shall hold immediately available national air force contingents for combined regional and international enforcement action. The strength and degree of readiness of these contingents and plans for their combined action shall be determined within the limits laid down in the special agreement or agreements referred to in Article 43 by the Wazir Regional Council, the Security Council of Defense, and the United Nations Security Council with the assistance of the Combined Military Staff Committee. Article 46. Plans for the application of armed force shall be made by the Wazir Regional Council in cooperation with the Security Council of Defense and on a case-by-case basis with the United Nations Security Council with the assistance of a Combined Military Staff Committee.
Y'all hear what's going on here. Continue.
Article 47. There shall
hold on,
be
sister, real quick. If anyone has any questions, by the way, as we continue reading, you see something and you got a question, just ask. Don't stay quiet. Ask. And sister, when you're reading, as you go through the different numbered sections, please call out the number, like number 1, number 2,
Okay.
number 3. Continue. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Number 1, there shall be an established military staff committee to advise and assist the Inspector General, the Moorish Minister of Defense, and the Security Council of Defense on all questions related to the Moorish Minister of Defense's military requirements for the maintenance, regional, and international peace and security, the employment and command of forces placed
Hold on,
at its
sister. Hold on. Somebody done came off mute.
Huh?
Somebody came off mute. That's Kurt. All right, go ahead, sister.
I'm gonna start at
Where did you end?
you want me to read number one again?
Yeah, so yeah, just read over it. Yep.
Okay, number one, there shall be an established military staff committee to advise and assist the Inspector General, the Moorish Minister of Defense, and the Security Council of Defense on all questions relating to the Moorish Minister of Defense's military requirements for the maintenance of regional and international peace and security, the employment and command of forces placed at its disposal, the regulation of armaments and possible disarmament.
Okay, hold that right there. This term right here. I wonder where this came from. Moorish Minister of Defense. Let's find out. So let's Control F. Let me move this out of the way. And let's look for Moorish Minister of Defense. A declaration signed by the Moorish Minister of War. So you got Minister of War, Minister of Defense. They also say of Defense. Let's see. So you got Minister of War, Minister of Defense. It didn't pick up on it, but it certainly picked up on Moorish Minister of War. But there's you'll find the term Moorish Minister of Defense in here as well. And that's where we got that language from. Just wanted to point that out. Everything that we're doing is in harmony with our treaties and the United Nations Charter. Which is international law. Everything, if it's if it's not in the treaties, we don't highlight it in our documents. So there is no Northwest Mexico, North Africa, North Gate in any of the treaties. You see terms like Moorish Minister. Oh, there it is right there. Oh, never mind. I'm looking at the Wazir Regional Council. That's why you see terms like Moorish Minister of Defense, because you'll find that in the treaties. We use the same terms that you'll find in the treaties to as a highlight in our document, if you will. Right? Yeah, we can say Northwest Mexico, but it's not going to be recognized. When I say recognize, I don't mean like their recognition, but when they're reading it, they're not going to recognize what that term means, is what I'm trying to say. Guess what they recognize? Sharifian Empire, Moroccan Empire, Moorish Empire, Moorish Minister of Defense, Qadi, those types of terms. Habu property, right, et cetera, trust territories. So Moors call the state of Georgia a corporation. Well, that's not what it's known for, or that's not what it's known as in international law. Is it a corporation? Yes. But international law is known as a trust territory. So if we're communicating with the colonists and the international community, what will we call the state of whatever a corporation? We will call it a trust territory, because that's what they recognize on an international level. Right? Yes, we know it's a corporation. And Moors be saying republic. I've never seen a reference point for that. Who told you that the state of Georgia is a republic? Oh, because it was under the republic? But it never had that term never was applied to it. It was always the state of whatever. This is part of this Moorish American stuff. I've never seen a reference point. If there is a reference point, by all means, I stand corrected. But it's not a republic. It's not Florida Republic. It's not New York Republic. It's the state of New York. Period. That's what they named it. That's their legislation. And you as a Moorish subject fall under that authority. And you calling it that, or state of or corporation, you call it a corporation. Well, it is that as well. But it's also a chartered colony. But in international law, is known as a trust territory, and the governor is the administrator of said trust. Period. That's how it's known. That's how it's known in international law. So let's go with that language. Let's leave the whole Northwest some. That's cool for, like, you know, your internal laws. If you want to name it that, you can define it as you see fit or whatever. Especially, for example, I've never seen the reference point, not even in literature or any book or anything that talks about Northwest Mexico, though it could potentially be out there. I haven't read every book, so if it's out there, cool. But what I'm saying is that it's not found in international law. And so if we're dealing with jurisprudence and we're dealing with law, then you got to follow along with what international law says. And in international law, this part of the world is not known as Turtle Island. Historically, and as a nickname, yeah, we know it to be Turtle Island, Atlantis, your old Egypt, all types of names. But officially, on the record, as recognized by the international community, is the Moroccan Empire, or Morocco. Period. Al Morocco. Not America, not Turtle Island, not the land of milk and honey. These are all nicknames and misnomers. The land is Morocco. Get over it. Continue, sister number 2.
Number 2, the military staff committee shall consist, I'm sorry, you threw me off, shall
I'm sorry.
consist of the chiefs of staff for the Security Council of Defense. Any member state of the United States of Morocco Treaty Organization shall be invited by the committee to be associated with it when the efficient discharge of the committee's responsibilities requires the participation of that member in its work. Number 3, the military staff committee shall be responsible under the Moorish Minister of Defense for the strategic direction of any armed forces placed at the disposal of the Security Council of Defense. Questions relating to the command of such forces shall be worked out subsequently with the Inspector General inter
alia.
4, the Military Staff Committee, with the authorization of the Moorish Minister of Defense, and after consultation with appropriate regional agencies, may establish regional subcommittees.
It's 9:30. That's where we'll leave it. Wow, right there, right at 9:30. You see the formatting issue. So now 4 is over here. We got to bring 4 over here under 3. That's when it transfers from Word to PDF. It always does that. That's annoying. All right, and inter alia, by the way, that's an international term that's used in replacement for, like, etc. Inter alia is like saying etc. In case you didn't know, you had that as a question. So that completes the read for the day. We'll pick up on it on Article 48 next Sunday, hopefully, because we missed last Sunday. I apologize. I really don't charge for this, so therefore I have to feed myself in other ways, right? So that means I got to work. It would be nice to charge y'all $70 an hour. There's 41 people online right now. We've been gone for about 2 hours. Imagine how much money I would have made, right? Nah. Let me get the decolonization money. Let me get that. I want the vast estate, right? I want economic liberty without any inequality. I don't need $1 from my people. I need my people to pay attention and follow along with these principles so we can do this together. I'll go get a job. It's all good. Or, well, do my own business. So at this point we'll stop here and open up the floor for questions for another 30 minutes or so discussion. 15-30 minutes or so, because I know people got to get up early, and so do I got to get up early. So yeah, I open up the floor. I yield for any questions, comments, or concerns regarding the WRC or anything else for that matter dealing with international law. I yield.
Is there a way that we could grab?
What was that? Hello?
PDF that we're looking at. I just want to do it myself. This is Shake speaking.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that again? And the last statement that you made was a lot clearer than before. So
Oh, I said, is it a way that we can have the access to the PDF file so I can read over it myself?
yes,
And
you
I said,
can.
this is Shake speaking. Shake
Okay,
Malukali Farrell.
as long as brother. Excuse me. Yes, it's gonna be available for public consumption very soon. I could send everyone an email, but look, Lord have mercy, it's 41 people. That would be. I would like for you all to just wait for us to post it publicly for you all to review it, and I'll let you know when that time comes. Fair enough.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Peace, peace, peace.
Peace, brother.
Yeah, peace, man. I was sitting here listening to everything. Man, this is just beautiful, man. Like, I'm over here in tears, man, because I haven't seen nothing like this since my whole life. Um, I've been studying for a minute for a very long time. And to see where the people at it is beautiful for me. Um, I honestly could say that whatever y'all doing, keep doing it. It's all good. Everything is good. Please keep moving forward. If I can assist in any type of way, I'm still a student myself, but I've been a student for a very long time. So whatever I can do to assist, I have no problem with assisting. I just love what y'all doing right now. Because when I was studying, you go to a brother and you ask him a question, he gonna tell you to figure it out yourself. So what y'all giving, what y'all giving is
Right.
like, I am so happy to even see that our people is here. To be honest, because the secrecy has been tremendously hurting to all of us. Everybody got these secrets. Everybody got, oh, I'm not going to tell you this and I'm not going to tell you because they're dealing from the ego. I just want everybody to remember, because I live by this. I'm not just saying it. I live by this. Remember that we're here to wake up the woman.
Right.
Because metaphysically, as above, so below. We must join the two.
Right.
The only way to join the two is to understand that the creator aspect is a feminine aspect.
Right.
That's all I want, to be thrown out there in the ether so we all can reflect on that. We only can be what our mothers was. And the people that's coming out can only be what their mother is. So our job that I've seen, what I've learned, is to uplift that woman. And because it's a spiritual thing. It's a spiritual thing. We here to build the house and they here to run it. You know what I mean? And y'all doing a great job with building a house. And I just want to be a part of it in every way that I can, man. I like all of it, man. Whatever anybody's saying, I can understand it. I can understand it, overstand it, throw it over there, and come back. I love it. I love every bit. No, I really do. Because y'all don't understand my struggle. You understand? And what I had to do in order to let this seed grow in me for the last 15 years. 15 years. You understand? Just to see something like this, because I've been through your temples. We ain't gonna talk about that. We is not gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying? But what we have right here, I think, is a great platform, and I support it. I never supported any other platform, but this right here, I can support this because where this is going to be a beacon for the rest of the nation, and then later the rest of the world.
Right.
So whatever I can do, because I'm not saying I'm better than anyone. We all the same. Whatever you bring to the table matches what I bring to the table, which makes it a table. So I'm here for unity. I'm not here for big eyes, little U's. I don't think none of us should be in that aspect, because whoever's the wazir, who's ever anybody, no one understand we move in one body. Out of many becomes one. One becomes many. Y'all know what I'm saying, man. I'm not going
You said it right.
quote it. You know
You
what I'm
said it
saying?
right. The quote was right.
So we all together. So as we move forward, I think that we should, definitely eliminate the trolls. It's gonna happen regardless. You ain't got to do that. The light It's gonna make the people who love the nocturnal creatures go into the dark. They're not gonna come out when we out.
That's right.
I just wanted to be known and set in the ether that, brother, whatever, everybody that's in tune right now, we are one. We are one. And everything that we doing, the universe is responding to us, and right now is the time. But we're gonna take things serious. I think we should take it serious to the point what the brother's saying and really get involved with this. Because I ain't never heard nothing like this since ever.
Since
Since
ever.
ever, you know what I'm saying? Like this new generation really have pushed it because my generation definitely secluded it.
Yeah.
I've been trying to knock down doors, I've been trying to kick doors open, and you know, them doors are still. You know, they're in their own clubs, they're in their own and telling you no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, there isn't a no. The last thing I'm gonna say. These scriptures are ours, every last one of them. When they say we the fathers, the mothers and fathers of civilization, that is literal to a T. All these other nations come in a mixture of us being Moorish. You know, Moorish is a term for Westerner, which means ancient land, which means all those ancient tribes that you talk about in the Bible, Canaanites, Hamathites, and all the Moabites. We all one because we the
Right.
first family. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Everything after was a mixture of something that we created. That's something we can go. That's a higher degree
That's
that
how
we can go into later. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what's going on right now, we must understand where we stand at. And I see that you making a great, yo, brother. I'm so humble. I'm in tears right now, bro, because I haven't seen this. I've been on my own. You know what I'm saying? Me and my little clan, we've been, you know, trying to find somewhere where we can gain, light, and give it. But that's what this is all about. We all the same. So now my whole thing is, last thing I'm gonna say, my whole thing is, in the scripture it says, cherubim and seraphim will guide you. You understand? And those who understand that the Holy Bible, when you break it down in etymology, it's a sum book. It's an astrology book. That's our shit.
No doubt.
You understand? Our culture is astrology and cosmology. It says
That's right.
seraphim and cherubim will guide you. That is the right and left hemisphere of your brain. So as long as you in the spirit, there is no mistake. Long as you after liberation and uplifting your people, there is no mistake. There's not one wrong person because in order for the tree to grow, it got to rip through the ground. You know, and the earth got feelings, so the pain makes the growth. You know, my little brother just put that on to me the other day. I had to understand that. All I'm saying is, I don't want to keep going and be rambling because I can't do that. My whole thing is, we must remember, as above, so below. Noble Drew Ali said, study, study, study. 3 times. And then he said, when you're done, study yourself. We are the micro and the macro. I, self, law, and master. That's us. You understand? And we gave that to the rest of the people. That's what our ancestors did. So when you see all these watered down religions over there, that's just what we gave to them because everybody is to worship on their own vine and fig tree. We forgot that, not them. They didn't forget that. So Christian, yeah, it was hijacked by some thieves, but that's for their salvation.
Right.
Not for ours. We gave that to them. You see what I'm saying? So the only reason why I'm saying that because I've seen a lot of comments. I've been on the chat as soon as I got invited. I've been looking. It's been a lot of misdirection. You gotta have that. You got 2 poles. You're gonna have that. Thing is to balance it. So off of every mishap, we can make something happen. You know what I'm saying? And I'm ready. I know people in my campus ready, and I just want to help this, process move forward. Yeah, I'm kind of speechless because this is just
You don't sound
this
speechless.
is beautiful, man.
You don't sound
I got more
speechless.
words than that. I am. I got more words than that. You know what I'm saying? But
Let me ask you a question.
know,
What territory are you in?
Presently I'm in Georgia State territory.
Oh, you in Georgia?
Not the state of. Not the state of.
Yeah. Well,
So
you are in the
state
state
of.
of.
Is a substitute. Yeah.
Well, it's all the same.
State of is a substitute. Yeah.
Well, it has been reclaimed by AMPAG. So
I heard that, and
right.
that's why I tuned in.
Yeah.
That's like y'all doing exactly what y'all supposed to do.
Right.
Yeah,
So
y'all doing exactly, and spreading that light to everybody else. This is what's needed right now because that fire that Noble Drew Ali said that was coming, well, it's past midnight, if you understand the lingo.
No doubt.
It's here.
Yes,
The
no
stores
doubt.
are closing. Everything is closing. And everything is up to us. That's the whole thing. Around the world. It's not just here. Around the world.
And while that's taking place, brother, we have established the WRC and these states are coming together. So
and I want to be
timely.
fully involved with it.
Okay, that's
all
good.
I'm saying. I just want to be involved.
What part of Georgia are you in?
Presently, I'm in something they call Covington. I'm not from Georgia, but I migrated down here about 7 years ago.
And you said where? Cummings? Cummings, Georgia?
No, Covington.
Oh, Covington. Okay. And your camp, where's the rest of your camp? And how many of you guys are there?
I can't put a number on it, but I know it's 9 children and 2 households at this point. Trying to get another 3rd household, but they still got to get their emotions in check in order to connect with the information. You know what I mean?
Okay, Islam. All right, well, stay in touch with us. What's your name, by the way? It says you're in here as Zoom user.
I'm not Zoom, by the way.
Yeah.
Depends on what dialect you're using. If we're gonna use English, I am Amir Johnson with the S-U-N. And we can use Bao or Bay. Well, it's really Bayal in English.
Right.
So, but our people are Latin, so it's kind of different in Latin if you want to, talk about that. But I don't.
Well, we're not Latin. We created Latin. It's a difference. We're
you know what?
Yeah.
I skipped my.
We created Latin. We created.
I kind of skipped. Yeah. I kind of fumbled across my word because I'm really astounded. That's really what it is. I'm really astounded, and about the whole Moroccan thing. I don't want to talk about that in front of the people because they need to know that they're Moroccan. But there's a higher degree than that I came across. That we
and that may and that may be the case. But as I was mentioning earlier, because we can say that we're Moabites, right? That's a higher degree.
Well, we can say we Moabites, Canaanites.
You can say all that, but right,
all
brother.
that.
But what I'm saying, my point is that that's not in the treaties. We're going for what's in the treaties, and in the treaties, we're referred to as Moroccans. So that's a degree that we that we stand on.
No. That's exactly why I said we could discuss that in private.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's why I didn't see that on a public platform.
No doubt.
That would confuse people because at the end of the day, we are Moroccans.
There's no doubt.
Moroccans simply mean Westerner. Maghreb, Alaska, that's us. The first family, all them tribes that you speak up in, but that's us.
No doubt.
So it really is the same, and I'm glad that you're keeping it like that, so it won't confuse people. Because I'm known to confuse people. They be looking at me like, "Yo, brother, what are you talking about?" And I look at them, if all eyes can see, and all ears can hear, and I just move away. You know what I'm saying? Because I realize that my disposition sometimes may come off a little strong to people, but I'm learning, how to minister my words. You know what I'm saying? But I got the understanding. It's just the words, how I choose, where I come from, kind of aggressive. So it's a little different. I just want to give props. Really, that's all I came to do on this airwave is to make sure that I'm giving the correct props and keep going. Let's go.
Let's
take over the world that belongs to us.
No doubt, and we shall do so. But I need this time now for me to give someone else an opportunity to speak. I appreciate all the words that you had to say. It's wonderful, and I'd like for you to keep in touch, stay in contact, continue attending these classes, and be and in that way, at minimum, you can be a part of the movement. But at some point, petition us to potentially be a part of the state since you're already in Georgia anyway. So we'll talk about that later at another point. Just stay in touch. Whoever invited you here, have them give you the Telegram link for the Telegram group, AMPAG Media. So you'll be a part of that. You'll see the discussions, and every time there's a class, I'll post the link so that all the attendees or the members can join. Islam. All right. Appreciate you, brother. All right. Someone else?
Islam. This is his younger brother, Jaylis Bayel. Excuse me.
Islam, brother.
Islam. Yeah. We in the process of statehood ourselves right now. So yeah, I did send him over all the information so that he can, join the platform, the media. Brother is very highly knowledgeable. Very, we both teach each other every single day. It's a beautiful thing that we on this platform learning more and more, and I ain't say learn, but bringing us back to what we already know. As a unity, as oneness, as I stated before to him before, about the oneness, and as bringing that left and the right side back together and moving as one, higher self and lower self. That's the only way we're going to be able to move is oneness,
Right.
One. So I yield. That's all I wanted to say.
Islam, good brother. Appreciate it. And thanks for your attendance. Your continual attendance, by the way. Yeah, it's the unity of the higher self, or raising up, as the Bible would say, that Jesus turned water to wine. That's going from the lower self to the higher self. That's what you call inner alchemy, right? You have to convert your internal spirit, which then becomes Allah once you come into your higher self. So, like for example, Islam never was a dogmatic religion. Islam is actually a culture of higher self. It's a culture of higher learning. It's a culture of higher understanding, right? It's a culture of libraries and universities. It's not about getting on your knees, praying 5 times a day to a mystical being in the sky that they call Allah. That's a corruption of Islam. It's about higher sciences. So when the people collectively are in their higher self, that becomes Allah. Right? Currently, our people is in our lower self, so we are the devil. See, we are the slave and the masters. Right? We are the gods and the devils. It's which is where the pendulum has swung based on your current situation, your current status. Right now, the pendulum has swung into our negative lower self, and we're swinging back. Right, we're going back into our higher self. That's the only way you'll be able to govern and operate under diplomatic relations and form different relations. You can't come in your lower self, because then you will bring with it your belligerence, your negative energy, and it won't be tolerated on the international platforms, right? And first of all, you're going to scare everybody, because everyone is quite aware of our power. So if you scare the world, they're going to ban against us. But if we bring hope to the world, they're going to work with us. So in order to bring hope to the world, you have to be in your higher self. So that's why the prophet was commissioned to teach us about our lower self and our higher self, and to put us in the mindset of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. There's no higher principles, universal principles than those 5, right? Starting with love, but then the opposite of love is hate. So we can't be hating the colonists, because really, in all actuality, you're supposed to hate your own. It's your own who did this, man. It's your own. It's those who look just like you, and we keep blaming it on the colonists and keep giving all these Negroes a pass because we love them. No. There's going to be a time when all agents will be revealed based on the fact that there is no such thing as top secret information in Morocco. Once the Moroccans come into full power in our proper person, the FBI will have to relinquish such list. We will find out specifically who's who and who's not, and who may be just an indirect agent versus a direct agent. Indirectly means that they just became a part of the culture without really knowing what's going on. It's different. It's different for those types of people. But people like Creflo Dollar, he knows, right? All these guys with these mega churches, they didn't get it. They didn't get it for nothing. It wasn't offered to them for nothing. It's in exchange for something great. And that was them tucking their tails and holding on to these secrets, TD Jakes, etc. All of them. I'm sure they're on the list, but I can't, I'm speaking out of turn right now because that's conjecture. But we know what it is with these people, man. We all know.
Peace, brother. Peace, brother.
Islam, I'm sorry,
I
I'm rambling. Go ahead.
No, you're not. I'm hearing everything that you're saying, and I'm tuning in. And I just wanted to say, not to cut you off, because I really want you to talk. Not to cut you off, just let me know how I can pay any dues to help the state move forward. Give me a link or something, or something, because I would devote my last to uplifting this movement. So just let me know what I can do, how I can do it, and I just want to be a part of it. I'm just happy to be here.
Well, in order for you to pay dues, you have to be a part of the state. We don't accept dues or monies from outside sources. That's I understand, but you have to be a national, because otherwise we'll be accepting emoluments.
But I am a national.
Oh, who am I speaking with?
You're speaking to Amir. I am a national. I've been a national since I want to say 2013.
No, hold up, time out. I'm talking about being a national of our state.
Okay,
yeah.
I understand now.
Yeah.
I understand now.
And let me
I have my own state, and I want to unite with y'all.
Right. So then let me clarify something for you, because you just said something that was egregious. So let me clarify that for you. If you wasn't part of a Moroccan state government, like registered under that state, then never in your life have you ever been a national. You have always been a Moorish subject. You thought you was a national, but what the legal and lawful reality is that you were a Moorish subject. Okay?
No, I understand everything you're saying, but I was definitely New Jersey State certified.
What is it you do? Okay, let me touch this real quick, so we understand here. Citizenship in Morocco may be said to be governed by the laws pertaining to the same in other countries, with the exception that all persons residing in Morocco who cannot prove foreign citizenship or protection. You got to be able to prove foreign citizenship or protection. If not, you'll be considered an ipso jure Moorish subject, right? Moorish subjects lost their nationality only by becoming naturalized in or protected by another country having treaty relations with the Moorish Empire. So this is the bottom line, good brother. With all due respect, if you cannot prove foreign citizenship or protections from another state, specifically a Moroccan state government, then you will be considered in law as an ipso jure Moorish subject, which means now they have civil and criminal jurisdiction over you. The goal is to choose between the entire submission to the laws of the empire, which is why he pointed that out in Article 15 here. Any subject of Morocco who has been naturalized, and we all know that we've been naturalized in the United States under the Naturalization Act of 1870.
The 14th Amendment, correct.
Right, and the 14th Amendment as well. So any subject of Morocco who has been naturalized in a foreign country, what foreign country? The United States, and who shall return to Morocco shall, after having remained for a length of time equal to that which shall have been regularly necessary for him to obtain such naturalization, choose between entire submission to the laws of the empire and the obligation to quit Morocco unless it shall be proved that his naturalization in a foreign country was obtained with the consent of the government of Morocco, and it wasn't obtained. The government of Morocco never gave anyone the consent to do that. Right? But you have to, if you're going to remain as an American, what that's saying is if you're going to remain outside of the jurisdiction, then you got to get permission from the Moroccan government. However, this is what we've been dealing with, and this is what we've been doing all our lives, right? Including yourself and even myself up until May 29th, because that's when we had our inauguration. So this is what paragraph 2 says. Foreign naturalization heretofore acquired, right, by subjects of Morocco, according to the rules established by the laws of each country, like the United States, shall be continued to them as regards all its effects without any restrictions. So all the laws of the country will apply to you if you remain as a naturalized subject in the jurisdiction of that country. In our case, it's America. So I said all that as a learning moment for everyone on the line. You gotta have a clear understanding of what your real status is, Morris. You never were a national. right? Unless, because up until now, there's never been an actual Moroccan state. Yes, we've had other types of states which weren't really states; they were organizations, right? They're purported
Correct.
to be a
Correct.
state, but they weren't really they weren't a properly established de jure Moroccan state under international law, right? And the Moorish treaties. There's many that I
True.
can call out, but this is not about calling out other states. The reason why I'm
True.
bringing out these so-called states is because a lot of Moors have been thinking that because they took allegiance, so-called allegiance to that particular body, that now they fall under the international protections, and it's not the case. In order to
No.
do so, you have to accede to certain treaties and execute certain constitutional processes to be able to now enforce the treaties. If they haven't done that, then they weren't an actual state. So that means if he was a member of that particular body, then you still wasn't a national. You were still a Moorish subject. And so I'm just wanting to clarify this for the floor. You said it was incorrect, and I just need to clarify that for you. Now, if you were to join forces, or should I say take up allegiance with AMPAG, then now you become a national, officially for sure, because now, according to what this document speaks on, which is the expatriation document by Hoffman Phillip, right? It states that citizenship in Morocco may be said to be governed by the laws pertaining to the same in other countries, with the exception that all persons residing in Morocco who cannot prove foreign citizenship or protection. So if you can, so that means if you can prove foreign citizenship and protections, then you would no longer be a Moorish subject. You would now be a Moorish national. So I apologize for me for running off with this, but I just needed to bring clarity to this understanding. Islam,
yes,
brother.
and Islam. Before I yield the floor, in a sense of what you're talking is very correct, because in a sense of nationality is oneness. Okay, and in a sense of your household is the nation. That woman has in her womb the capacity to build a nation. That one woman. If you go back into the times, and revisit your memory chamber, you understand that, because what you're saying is absolutely correct. And so for the people that are in the situation that I'm in, you understand? Because there are people from our generation that have went through the proper channels and have did the things that you're talking about. The problem is the unity. And what y'all bring to the table is the unity. So what you're saying is correct. Because remember, the process goes save yourself, save your family, and then go out and save the nation. So upon saving yourself, you got to decolonize yourself. And then once you do that, you got to decolonize your family. That's the state. Because everything in the world is built off of family. Every commerce, every trade, when we go back, all these banks was personal banks. All these, we all had land and farm, which land includes rights, etc. Land is just not the dirt that we stand on. So what you're saying is true, and what I'm saying is true, is to merge the two, because there's a lot of people that followed, I want to say in connotative term, false prophets. You understand? They threw them this way for nationality papers. And you threw it, not understanding it's not the paper that makes you who you are. You, in your mind, make you who you are. And whatever paper that you send out is just a brief. And that's just a small representation to a larger body, which makes that you. I, self, law, and master.
Yeah, but
The
that
only
stuff,
person
but
over
see,
you
hold on, that's still, that's
the
that's a halfway truth, because it's not complete when if you don't have your sovereignty, and you're not a sovereign as an individual. You're sovereign when you're under a state. The state is sovereign, and the sovereignty
Now
is
you see the
passed on to
problem.
you.
Now you see the problem that you just felt.
What was
That's why I
that?
said it's beautiful. You got the people together.
Yeah, that's the state comes together, and that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
two.
because you can't be a state by yourself.
That's
You
correct.
see what I'm saying? That's why I said the two come together. You just, not saying you, but the body of people that came together is what makes it potent. Because you by yourself does not make it potent, and that's where I was in a dilemma. So to be a part of people, a body, which is a state, is, A state is a company. To be honest, the
Well,
United States is a company. That's
it's
a
a
state.
fiction. Well, it's not a
That's a state.
company. Well, it's not.
It's a fiction.
It's
It's
a
a
fiction.
fiction,
Point of
It's
but it's
privilege.
still a state. It's
point
a
of
legal
privilege.
entity.
Someone has a point of privilege, brother.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
this
sorry, brother. I yield.
Dempsey head of state. Excuse me, brother. How did you get the link?
Say that one more time.
How did you get the link to this class?
Oh, my little brother gave it to me.
Okay. Well, I didn't know for sure, but I asked you that question because it's a couple more groups that I'm in, people that are not in statehood, and some of the questions that you're kind of asking, it's kind of like no one that really studies statehood. But I just feel like, if a person understands this and they hear it, it's the truth. You can't deny it. That's why he's filling all the gaps you never heard before. Or you never heard no one speak like that. But I just wanted to chime in because I didn't know the question that you asked, like you wasn't too familiar with statehood and the concepts.
No,
But
not even. I was just saying that in the aspect of you guys getting together, y'all gotta understand that this is new. But if you understand what I'm trying to say to you. When I was studying, it was at a time where nobody didn't want to get together. You had your own clubs. You had your own this and this person and this person, and this club was fighting this club, saying, "Hey, you didn't say this right." And this club fighting like, "Well, you didn't say this right," but that's what I'm trying to say. It's all good. The problem is we don't come together, and what y'all had accomplished, what y'all did accomplish, is everyone coming together. So I give thanks for that, and I just want to be a part of that. That's what I'm saying. From my
Yes, sir.
understanding and what I know, none of y'all can take away from me because I went through 20 years of learning this without speaking or coming to a platform or this, that, and the third. I did that. So that's why I'm giving y'all the praises to be like, yo, y'all did something that our generation couldn't. You see what I'm trying to say? Because y'all the
Well, things,
afterbirth of our
yeah,
generation.
things
And
are,
y'all doing what y'all supposed to do, and that's why we couldn't get it done.
well, things
Because
are
we couldn't
time.
come together. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
Well, because we weren't exercising the proper understanding of statehood, et cetera, and structure and being organized, forming an organized dual society. We've been
Hold
in
on.
the state. We've been in the state of chaos and confusion. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Several groups doing several different things at different points, going in so many different directions, yet not going anywhere real fast. So what we've done is we have consolidated the understanding as to which direction we need to go in, and we've all joined in on that same. We all boarded that same train, and we're headed in the same exact direction. And because of
Which is
that,
what was prophesied.
and because of that, we're now able to bring forth what's called unity, because now you're talking about focus. The movement is actually focused. It's not all over the place. So that facilitates unity. Confusion does not facilitate it. It's against unity. It causes confusion, and which then causes disunity, distraction, confusion, right? All the toxic negative energy that comes along with that. And that's the reason why we've been successful, only because we're focused on one direction, and that direction, the reference points are being shared, which means they're not refutable. You can't refute what I just read here. You can't refute
No,
you can't refute Article 15 of the Treaty of Madrid, which is this exact article here that I just read. And so this is the reason for the success. I appreciate all the words that you brought to the floor, brother. Please continue to attend. You're more than welcome. Have good brother Jaylis give you the link for the Telegram so that you can join the Telegram, so you have access to the Zoom link, so that you can join all these classes every Sunday when we have them. In the meantime, good brother, it's past 10. We got to close out, but I'll leave the floor. I'll open up the floor for another question or two. Go ahead.
Islam. This is Sheikh. I just want to say I'm in the California territory, California Republic. I don't know anything. I'm a student, so I have no dispute. It's nothing. I just want us to win as a collective. So whatever that looks like, that's the side of the law that I'm on. So with that being, how can I assist? I'm working. I work with brothers in California already. I just want to know what's the best way and what's the best route for me to be a part of and to gain nationality via how you're going about it, because I'm not. Look, I just know that we need to uplift humanity. I could tell you what I know, but it's irrelevant unless we all know the same thing at the
Right.
same time. It
Right.
doesn't matter. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm about unity and us being on the same page so we can move forward. If we're talking about holding the world accountable and uplifting us and representing properly, that's where I want to be. So I'm not really worried about any conflict. I'm anti-conflict, pro unity. So once again, I'm in the California territory. Anything I could do to assist, I sent you my direct email, which is ipso facto more. Anybody listening? Yeah, you already know
That's your
what that means.
email.
Ipso
Ipso
facto
facto
more.
more.
So no, I've been saying is I'm a more, because I know I am, right, and I don't argue about the semantics and the pathway.
Yeah.
I just need what you described today and how you presented this, and the fact that I understand you moving with intelligence and unity with groups, with your group, is all I need to know. That's all I need to know. I'm not into all that other stuff. So whatever I could do to help, just let me know. I'm down to be in the Telegram. And I think if anything, we're building a nation, that means we're going to be an organization of organizations. And I'm willing to be a part of whatever makes the sense for the collective.
So
And
that
I
sounds
yield
like
with
you're.
that.
So that sounds like you're. So that sounds like you're ready to establish govern or reclaim the trust territory of California. Is what it sounds like to me, Mr.
Yes,
Ipso
and
facto more. That's dope.
exactly. That's what I'm like. At the end of the day, we've had too many discussions and not enough action. And what you shown me today, that's why I was asking about the PDF. Because ultimately there has to be a plan. Whoever has the best plan should be the one we follow. And it's not an individual, it's the plan, it's the idea. So I only am interested in the best idea for my people. This is what, from what I can see, I haven't read it myself, is a great way to proceed. So therefore, yes, I will be the California, whatever, wazir, whatever needs to be done to influence and support what we've already established. So yes,
You
no
got
work.
you got a pen and paper available or handy?
I have a notepad in my phone.
That's fine. Whatever you want to use. So you
What
can
we
take
writing?
down. I want you to take down my direct email so you can email me. Chairman
No
of
worries,
the.
I got you.
It will be chairman of the WRC at gmail.com.
Got you, chairman
of the WRC at gmail.com. So email me your information, email me the size of your group, however many people you've got, and any other pertinent information, including your phone number.
Chairman of the WRC at gmail.com.
Chairman of the WRC at gmail.com.
Okay, got you.
So email
And
me
I
all
know, point of
that.
privilege, I have a few more that I've been speaking with in Cali. That's they already started creating a seal and a flag. So if you want to link in with them, also, I just sent you a message here. You can send me your if you have Instagram or phone number, whatever.
Yes, that's the main trucker speaking to that's just speaking. That's the chief judge of DMT, which is Ante, Texas. They have reclaimed Texas, the territory of Texas. So
okay, please connect
Another
me.
point of privilege.
I would just go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's a statehood link. I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and I want you to pass this link out. And this is gonna be a place for all Moors to meet. Just giving your identifying information, and Moors will be able to link up. So that'll just be a place. So if you talk to someone, you just tell them, "Hey, go there." More than likely, you'll find a Moor that's in your territory that's looking to start a state. And
so the brother that was speaking, there's the wazir of DMT, which is Ante, Texas. Ante, Texas in the house. But yeah, so so follow along with what she just said about her contact information in the Telegram. I mean in the chat. But send me an email nonetheless, like I told you, with all the information that I just said. So I'll be in touch with you, bro. So we can.
And that was the name and the. Give me that name, size. I give you my phone number also, right?
Give you what again? The email.
What information did you want, sir?
I was just saying. well, obviously your name, your phone number, but also the amount of people in your body that's ready to put the state together. However many people you've got, that kind of stuff. But also pay attention to the chat because the matriarch, the chief judge of Dempsey, was saying that she has a contact information down there for you as well to put you in contact with other Moors in California who's establishing their states. We definitely would like to see California to come online as well. We had a false start, unfortunate false start a couple months ago. No worries, they just weren't ready. So whoever's ready is who's going to be ready, and it shows in your action, your discipline and willingness to follow through to make sure that this happens, right? And so nothing happens before it's time. Go ahead. Whoever had the point of interest. Go ahead. Okay, I thought somebody was saying something. All right, good brother Sheikh. Go ahead.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Abdul, the noble that we were speaking about earlier, he's on here. I don't know if you wanted to get his contact information, or if you wanted me to just get it to you later.
Well, I'm not. Well, I could write it down. Let me see. How about you share with him. Okay, that same email that I gave the good brother. What was it? Chairman of the WRC at gmail.com. Send me an email on that. On that email. Use that email address to email me your name and your phone number.
Islam, if I could chime in real quick.
Yeah.
I just want to say, man, I totally understand everything. I've been watching y'all videos on YouTube for about a month, or a little over a month, and I totally understand everything y'all doing. It'll perfectly aligns with the prophet. I'm just ready to get active, man. I ain't really much to say. I'm just ready to get active.
What is the? He was already sitting.
What was that?
That was someone else. That's him that you're speaking with, Abdul. That we were speaking about. That's him talking right now.
Okay, awesome. What was your name, good brother?
Brother Terrell Bay.
Okay. Send me an email with your phone number. Let me know who you are. You're in Georgia, correct?
Islam.
Okay. Chairman of the WRC at gmail.com.
Okay.
And I'll be in touch with you, bro.
Okay, Islam.
Peace, Islam.
Peace.
This is Delvon Bay, calling from my California territory.
Oh, okay. Meet Brother Sheikh. Okay. What you got, brother? That's awesome.
You know what? It was actually Sheikh that invited me to this.
Okay.
Yeah. So he invited me to this. Currently we're working on information technology programs here in California. So he knew that I was the right one to relay this link to. So I just hopped on to get an ear and see what was going on.
Okay.
And so I would definitely love to get in touch with whoever's responsible for the data that you have collected thus far. I am in school for computer science, and I specialize also in data analysts. So I feel like us controlling our data would definitely be a reservoir for much potential and prevention of many setbacks that tend to occur. Moore's we tend to be finite or minimized because of the access of information that we have and available resources that we have.
Yeah.
And I want to do my best to gravitate more that are interested in information technology, so that we can take on that industrious task of managing our data and making that available to all Moors who want to possibly take on endeavors, but just don't have enough information available in their territory. And so Me and Sheikh built on this network state ideology, and I feel like it's definitely responsible for us as Moors in information technology to articulate that message and build with Moors and temples abroad. So I'm here just to be a helping hand and also just to help you with your data so that we can all know that, hey, there is a Moorish entity that is, doing their due diligence of inquiring, accessing, and funneling all the data possible so that Moors have an opportunity to excel.
Good stuff. You're what we call an SME, subject matter expert. You got a pen and pad?
Yes, I do.
Wazir, chairman of the WRC at gmail.com. Send me an email, brother. What was your name?
Chairman of
chairman of the THE.
THE.
Yeah, THE, the WRS. I'm sorry, WRC. Chairman of the WRC.
At gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Because we definitely could utilize your skill sets within the WRC.
All right, this is fairly important right now. I have a this summer me and Sheikh, well, we're combining our resources to launch a mobile quick app service. So we make mobile applications and websites, easy, quick services like that using artificial intelligence. And so these applications are great services for Moors throughout all territories. If they need an application to do, retail pickup or health application. So with the data that I'm collecting from Moors and within different territories, I can be able to have those Moors sign up for our into our database so that we can do health reports, right? And we can have all this data available because we have Moors that are getting older too. So all this is very helpful for us. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah. Excellent. We could definitely utilize your services. I think I should also put you in contact with Brother Hakeem Bey. What do you think, Brother Hakeem Bey?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned it because before I even say anything, I do have a question for Brother Delvin. The account right now that says Del the P, is that your account?
Yeah, I was on my phone, then I switched to my laptop.
Okay, because I asked that account earlier twice what their website was and never got a response.
Okay,
So
I'll
if you
switch you from location to location. But I have my
Gotcha.
social media right now. I don't have a website up right now. I'm just, if you get in contact with me, get in contact me. But it's fairly easy to get in contact me.
So yeah, regarding the data for Moors, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but there's already a directory out there, moorsdirectory.com. It's been out for several years now, and it's being managed by one of our most trusted elders. And if you need additional information about Moors, try to get in touch with him because he's already been doing that work behind the scenes. But in regards to Moorish states, I've already been doing, stuff in the background myself for, how would you say, accumulating all the information for the various Moorish states. So it's not going to be a directory like his for Moorish Americans, but a directory specifically for Moorish state, but also having different resources and solutions for Moorish governments and organizations like the temple, kind of like what you just mentioned. The one thing that I have not considered for it is the apps that you mentioned. But I do know of a brother, a Moorish brother that I worked with a couple of years ago, that he's had his app out. So he's very technical with Python and all these other things. So he knows how to do those things. So if you would like to, kind of pool everybody together, then that can be done as well. But
That's something that might have to happen.
there's a lot of Moorish there's a lot of Moorish programmers out there. I'm just one of them. You feel me? Um, I know of a sister that is a software engineer. I forgot what company she works for, but she's really good at what she does, and she's relatively young. I believe I believe the Wazir has been in touch with her regarding more states, but he's been in touch with so many people he probably forgot.
Yeah,
But
right.
Well,
but yeah,
I'm
so
definitely going.
you can email me. Feel
well, I was
free.
gonna say, brother.
info@hakimbey.com, or simply just visit the website and use the contact form. Um, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes. But again, if we can have in one central location for all the information regarding more states would be great. But if you're referring to individual Moors, then you definitely want to get in touch with Brother Jonathan and those working with him for more
Jonathan is the Moore that's running the Moore'sDirectory.com, right?
Islam.
Okay. So I've
Yeah, he's
never
actually
been.
running a lot of Moorish websites. But go
Okay.
ahead.
I haven't came across that before, and I've been in this for quite a decade or so. So this is new, and I feel like there's not enough Moors there's not enough temples also that are articulating this directory. So the directory is if correct me if I'm wrong, it's a basically a, a place where you go to provide your information.
Correct. So if you go
Or if
to
you register, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, if you go to morishdirectory.com right now and scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see a list of all the websites that he's in charge of. There's not a hyperlink for each of them, but he writes out the
Hold
domain
on
name.
a second, Mo. Let me help y'all out with that discussion.
Awesome.
And
Thank you.
yeah,
Moorish American,
and
what is it called? Moorish American Directory, right?
no, just
Moorish
morishdirectory.com.
Directory. There you go. Yeah. You're right. I'm
Um,
familiar with it. Hmm.
yeah, there's also Moorish Registry and so on and so forth, but it's mainly tailored to Moorish Americans. That's why, you know, for more states, it's separate. So I don't consider using his directory. But if you're targeting individual Moors, or trying to get a database of individual Moors, then he'll be a good resource for you.
So like you see
Okay.
here, Moorish Directory, Moorish Americans United supporting one another. This is your Moorish American community website. So we need one for our Moroccan state, several Moroccan states. So the idea is right on point. It's just a different degree than what they have done.
And the one for the Moroccan states, as you know, Wazir, I'm currently working on that. It's moregov.org.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's still under construction right now. But
Right.
everything you just mentioned, aside from the apps, is essentially what I intended to do with it.
So you guys can work together on this.
Definitely.
Yeah, Islam. This is Sheikh. Me and Brother Devon are in direct contact all the time because we organize together. So I'm more than willing, and I think he's assist the best way we can because it fits along with what we're doing collectively. So
Right.
I'm very happy that we were able to have this conversation and meet you brothers tonight because it's something that's necessary, and I think that it'll help us all move forward because
Islam.
California is a big territory. We need as much brothers to wake up as possible, and it's a major part of our estate. You know what I mean? So so whatever assistance we can get from y'all, we'll be more than happy to get it as we grow.
And
Islam,
if you have any other Moors that are in information technology, I would definitely appreciate because I would like for us to come together probably once a week or once bi-weekly. Just have a meetup so we can talk about the most current technology, sharpen our skills and and figure out how we can also assist the state, right,
Yep.
in this power with our skills. And also that would be great because the individuals that we speak to or I speak to throughout the week, like at my college or whatsoever, they are able, I'm able to, bring the young, the young peas, the young, programmers, into a setting where they can also articulate and just listen to Moors that are, familiar, probably programmers, software engineer, data analyst, machine, you know what I mean? So robotics. So it's very good
Yeah.
to have that. And that's what I feel like that's my purpose. And that's what made me go back to college and finish this degree.
Islam. Real quick, Wazir Camden, you there, brother?
Islam, I'm here.
Don't you have another what is it? What did you say? Information systems technology more in your state?
Well, he had some family issues in the WRC meeting. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I
Noah
remember.
brought it
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
So he's in Oklahoma now, right?
Yeah, I haven't really spoke with him since he's been going through the family issues or whatnot. But Chief Justice Dominique Hill, she's in contact with the other tech subject matter expert in California. So that'll still be a liaison.
Yeah, let's link all these international that's all in my head. Information management systems guys. All the nerds, the Moorish nerds. I love it.
That's all possible. But I'm pretty sure because I know at least 2 or 3 of them, and I kind of know their schedules. So if anything, it will probably be like a once a month type of meeting versus once a week. But getting in touch with everybody and kind of working together for a common purpose, that would be great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be excellent. We make magic at AMPAG Media, baby. We make magic.
I'll actually send out an email to a buddy of mine that's helping Brother Jonathan with his websites and stuff. So I'll see what he thinks about it. But again, we worked together on with a different group a couple of years ago, and we're kind of, not so motivated when it comes to stuff that more say, but
Yeah, right.
Hopefully, the how would you say the Moors with the more states, prove to be more how would you say they're more trusting with their word, whatever the case, that they're follow through basically with what they promised, and they don't just give up halfway, because that's what dissuaded us in the first place.
Exactly, brother. Because a lot of Moors they don't follow through. It's been killing us because it's procrastination and paralysis of analysis, etc., which just delays our justice. But yes, this was great, brother Delvin. Yes, so you got the email. Get in contact with us, or with me directly, same as you, brother Sheikh, and everybody else who I've shared the email with. Don't forget to contact me. And we will go from there. We'll link you up with all the information systems Moors. At least you two can begin the process, and we'll go from there. But we definitely could use that particular idea. But then also we could utilize your skill sets within the WRC. We need as many subject matter experts as we can stand, right? Move this thing along. You guys are actually the foundation to what we're doing. Because there's specific industries within government that needs to be covered by those who have the expertise, right? I don't have like, for example, a computer expertise type of background, right? So we need those types of people, those types of Moors, to cover as many industries as possible as it relates to governance. And almost all industries are part of governance. It's just on different levels, right? So that would be excellent. I appreciate that. This was an excellent build. Do we have a question before we close out?
May I make one last point? Just to add to.
Yes.
I was going to make one last point. We're in a position where, because of AI.
Hold on, real quick. Who's speaking? Sheikh?
This
Who's
is
speaking?
Shake. I just want to say
Shake.
this real
Okay,
quick.
okay, okay. No, you're good. I just wanted to make sure who I was speaking with. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, we're at a point due to AI and other technologies that we can move much faster than we ever could before. And if we tailor this knowledge and information to our nationality and to our government, we can establish ourselves and solidify ourselves with our past and our future in a way that cannot even be budged for is until they come up with quantum computing, right? So
Right.
so we have a great time right now. It's like that's why I'm not for no conflict. It's too much work to be done to
Right.
argue about anything.
That's
We
right.
just need to get to a point where we get to a level where our people understand who they are, the benefits of knowing your history. And then with the technology, we can actually make it easier for people to just engage in the correct information. That's the key point. That's why I like, brother, how how you were reestablishing the knowledge for other brothers, because it's important to say, hey, this is the standard in which we're operating, and this is the foundation in which we create the standard. So I appreciate so with that we can actually say, hey, this is what we know to be correct. Mind you, as a government, we're going to pivot if necessary, but this is the foundation of what is correct, and let's all function on that knowledge. So when we give them a counter with foreigners, because that's what our problem normally is, it's us first, but secondly, it's foreigners.
Yeah, right.
They
There you
can't.
go. Thank you. Go
No,
ahead.
it's always us first. Now we got to,
Yeah, we
that's
gotta get
that's
that.
the first thing I realized after like becoming more knowledgeable. Everything was done by us first. They just learned well from us. They learned well from our
Very well. We taught them well.
We taught them very well, right? So we just in a very good time now. We put the foot on the gas and establish what we can do. We can actually do something that's going to be phenomenal. And I'm like you said, it ain't going to be 5 years. We talking about less than 2 years, 1 year, 6 months. Because the knowledge of the past is there. We just got to connect it with the access of the future.
That's
and I dock right there. Thank you very much, y'all.
Thank you, Shake.
Islam, I'd like to step in for a second, if I could.
Okay. Go ahead,
It's Wazir Aziz from Serum.
Oh, okay.
Ante, North Carolina.
Islam, Wazir.
Islam, everyone. Yes, I just
Welcome
wanted
home.
much gratitude, and I'm excited. I would like to just echo what the brother, I think his name is Sheikh, and everyone has been saying who's on the same page. So this is what I would say in regards to getting there, keeping AMPAG study session campaign is running wild. So everyone should start at AMPAG study session number 1. I would recommend, if you could, I know everybody works a job, watch 1 in the morning and watch 1 before you go to bed. Just commit, invest your 100 hours and become competent, so everybody is speaking the same language. We're not talking about I mean, there's nothing wrong with talking about other subjects within Moorish culture, but we need to stay streamlined on statehood, international law, just cogence, period. If we just stay there, what that message would do across the internet within 1 week, if everybody's saying the same thing, everybody's saying on this call right now, everybody's posting about AMPAG study session at least twice a week. Say something regarding studying state international law, statehood. Then that's going to get more people interested in wanting to learn about, so what's really going on with statehood. Something's going on with it. Because this more right here wasn't talking about statehood last week. This guy around the corner, I know he's talking about the temple, whatever he's talking about. But if he or she is talking about statehood, we're talking about AMPAG study session. Go to number 1. It's an hour. Sit down, stop talking, be quiet, take some notes, and then everybody's on the same page. That's how we can help each other. Everybody become competent. Go to AMPAG study session number 1. Watch 2 a day before you're done. Before your week is over, you watch 20 sessions. You're 20 hours in. I've already did my 100 hours. I've actually done 200 hours, believe it or not. Quiet as kept. So watch them over. If you got to watch them again, watch them over. Because that's how you become competent. You're not going to forget the information. Then you'll be able to speak to other Moors with confidence and not stutter and be on point, because you'll know you've been through the information. You're confident. You know what you're talking about. And then boom, everybody on this call, we got 70.
We got 37 on the call right now.
information. AMPAG studies 37 with 37 people are saying the same thing every time they post regards to anything dealing with Moorish. You talking about statehood. That's going to catch fire within the internet and Facebook and Instagram. It's going to catch fire, and we'll have more subject matter experts coming in, look out and seeking us out.
Yeah. Excellent idea.
Period.
Period.
That's what everybody should do. If you ain't talking about statehood, I ain't trying to hear it. That's it. I'm seriously. But if everybody takes that same stance, then this thing will move a lot faster than Wazir Abdul was talking about. It will take less than a year, 2 years.
Right.
Because everybody's talking about it.
Right.
So just everybody, I would just encourage you just to commit to just talking about statehood and getting those videos. When you talk to your next partner, your friend, your Moorish compadre, ask them how many videos have they watched on AMPAG study session. Seriously. I mean, and be in love, because the more you watch, the more confident you're gonna be, and the more confident you will be sharing this information. But if you ain't watching no video session, you're gonna be like asking questions, and you should have been watching the video.
Right.
So that's it. I'm done with my soapbox. AMPAG study session. Watch 100 hours. No excuses. Let's go. Islam
Wazir. And that's an excellent way to close out. To Camelback on that. Yes, we want to spread the word. And like you said, as many people share the content and speak on the subject matter on their news feed or whatever you call it, timeline, whatever, it will catch fire. It will go viral, and it will be great for the movement because, like you said, we would attract the best of the minds in Morocco and others for that matter. And we want everybody, right? We all have a part to play in this movement, in this chess game called decolonization. It's a chess game, a political chess game. A political chess match is underway as we speak. And we already see the checkmate. The United States and all the other colonizing states are in a pickle. You seen some of the language in the WRC. We projecting certain things. We coming at them, but not in a belligerent way, in a competent, diplomatic way. But we letting them know we coming for the throne, and we shall be successful. And with Moors like yourselves on this call, discussing matters such as gathering data for Moorish governments. Oh man, that would help with what Brother Aziz was talking, Brother Wazir Hano Bey was talking, Aziz Hano Bey was talking about, right? It'll help fuel the fire of international law and statehood across social media. We will control the narrative and we will win. And to close out, to continue with that same soapbox, I'm gonna get into my YouTuber, get my YouTuber hat on, right? And I'll say, please share, subscribe, like the video, right? I never say that because I'm not a YouTuber, but it's important in this case because we want to do as what the brother was just saying. We want to share the information. So like, share, and subscribe this video if you get, or this lesson, this class if you get value out of it. Same as the AMPAG study sessions. Like, share, and subscribe that bad boy. I mean, we got to get it out there. We got to get the information out there. Because this is vital to our survival and it's vital to our liberation from our occupation, right? We're being occupied by foreign colonists who has put us in a subjugated status, with the assistance of our own, right? They have traded places with us. They have us going to their government to get licenses to hold guns, when in reality, they are supposed to go to our governments to gain the permission to hold guns. Islam. So let's flip the script by forcing decolonization and do it and uplift fallen humanity while we're in the process of doing so. Islam.
There's a question in the chat. This is Wazir Aziz out of Serum. The question was, how is the WRC going to conduct commerce? That's the question. Could you?
Yeah, that's the last question, Moors. This is an excellent build, and I ain't gonna never close out if I let y'all keep asking questions. But I do want to answer every question. I talked about it. We're going through the 3 phases. The first phase is sovereignty and independence. We got to establish our states. The second phase, which most of our states are in, is integrity of domain, which is the enforcement of the establishment and the enforcement of your laws, etc. Right? Solidify the protections of your state, etc. And then the final phase, the third phase, is economic liberty without any inequality. Economic liberty. That represents decolonization. This is when we take back control of the vast empire. What is the vast empire? Or should I say the great enterprise? What is the great enterprise? The vast empire, right? We take back control of all the commerce. Somebody mute mic, please. Somebody mute your mics, please. We take back control of all of the commercial activity that's taking place in Morocco. Let's go back here real quick to answer your question. Right here. So chapter 1 is a declaration relative to the organization of the police. You take back control of the police. Chapter 2, a regulation concerning the detection and repression of the contraband of arms. You take back control of the guns. Oh, this is your question right here. Chapter 3. Let me highlight it for you. An act of concession for a Moroccan state bank. Highlight that for you. That's economic liberty without any inequality. We take control of all the banks. The IMF, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, you name it. A declaration concerning a better return of taxes and the creation of new revenues. Chapter 4. Want to talk about money. This is the money, but we don't talk about money because with that responsibility comes a lot of work. What we talk about is the work. The money will come, right? So they owe taxes. And then also the creation of new revenues, okay? A regulation concerning the customs of the empire and the repression of fraud and smuggling. That's dealing with the ports and the taxes associated with the ports. As you've seen in the WRC convention, I discussed about the trope. We discussed about, we were talking about the Moorish ports and trade routes. Taking that over. Chapter 5, a regulation concerning the customs. Okay, chapter 6, a declaration relative to public services and public works. That's the public services is all your firemen, your 911, your governments, etc. Your public works is the highways, the byways, the bridges. We're taking back control of the entire empire. So to answer your question, it's found in the third principle, economic liberty without any inequality. But we can't jump from sovereignty and independence to economic liberty. We have to go through the process. So we're going through the due process of decolonization to then establish the economic foundation. Somebody please mute your mics. I would appreciate that. We're going through the due process to force decolonization to then establish the economic liberty for all our states. So remember, Morris, it's not about the money, but the money will get here. It comes when we force decolonization. It's the third principle. It's economic liberty without any inequality. That's it. Okay. Maybe since I'm here, let's go up a little bit. This is the preamble, right? To the right, to the Act of Algeciras. Inspired by the interest attaching itself to the reign of order, excuse me, peace and security, should I say peace and prosperity in Morocco, and recognizing that the attainment thereof can only be effected by means of the introduction of reforms based upon the triple principle of the sovereignty and independence of His Majesty the Sultan, the integrity of his domains, and economic liberty without any inequality. That's the third phase, Morris. You can't jump to that phase without getting past 1 and 2. So let's get past 1 and 2, and then we'll get to number 3, okay? Islam. So with that, I appreciate the question. I hope I gave you a fair answer. Please like, share, and subscribe, because as you know, this class will be uploaded to YouTube, as all of them do. So share it around every last one of your social media accounts. Share it with your friends and families. Let it catch fire. Let it go viral. As the Wazir Aziz Hano Bey from Sakaru State Republic just competently articulated just a minute ago. Islam. So with that, I'll close. Peace, love, and prosperity to everybody. May the blessings of Allah be upon you all. Islam.
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 Peace.
Islam.
Islam.
Islam, tyranny.
Islam, council member. You already.
Islam.
Peace and love, y'all. Peace and love.
Peace
Thank
and
you.
love.
Thank y'all for all the love. Islam.